Okay, alright. I'm hitting the thing. Calm down. Calm down. You're shouting, it's not appreciated. Oh no, blob sauce. Okay, alright. It's alright, friend. Oh, what do we have today? I don't know, man. Is it just sadness? Are we all sad all the time? I'm sad all the time. Today, we have a new player tournament. We are going back to the Swiss format yet again. Just guarantees that you have 4 rounds to play, and then at the very end, if we have any ties for the top, we will get those played out very quickly in a short, orderly fashion. It's a nice format for new player tournaments when they just want to hop in and play a couple games for sure, not play single elimination where you maybe just get knocked out right away, and then they wasted their time and have to wait 2 weeks for another tournament in their time zone. Or double elim, I mean, you could still just get 2 bad rounds in a row, so that's pretty tough, right? Yeah. That's what I have. So we'll have 4 rounds. Looks like the first round is all done. People are sending me some replays. We have 11 people signed up tonight. Yashkaf, Dr. Nerd, Spartan, Incars, Grumps, Lowry, Dwembox, Gewun Jimin, and Trogdor, Nerd First, Electric Spinach. I think my tournament favorites to win are either Yashkov or Dr. Nerd. Dr. Nerd's been around for a bit longer, so I'm thinking that he's probably going to win tonight. Probably. But Yashkov's scrappy. He don't give no fucks. We do not have any global bans tonight since it is post-patch. People are going to want to try out the new stuff, and it's not their fault that the new stuff is all broken as shit. But I imagine we'll see some weird stuff. This is not from the new player tournament. Someone wanted me to look at this after the stream. All right. Why am I top bracket for all 3 of your matches? I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's just a random bracket. It's just a random bracket. I hit generate bracket 4 times, and I hope for the best. Did I screw up my report with Spartan? Alright. Dwembox versus Blob Sauce. Okina's versus Tomb Kings. Anyway, I thought I was mid-sentence about... Zarina's chariot is banned. It's the feature of tomorrow's video, but there is a bug with her chariot, and it's not the one you're thinking of. You might be like, wow, she slices through things like butter, and she has that Grail Knight mask. That's why you banned her? No, she actually has a bug. Here, actually, just so you know why she's not in the tournament tonight. Here, hold on. YouTube. Because I can't explain it as well as I can just fucking show it. Routing Zarina can kill your lord. That's exciting and new. So here's this example. So Katarina has 60 HP and she's routing right now. She's routing away from that lord. The Ice Witch of Tempest is chasing her. You can see that. She started this chase with 2,000 HP, but I'm not going to go back that far. You can see she has 900. I've hovered over her multiple times. Well, when Zarina's in that chariot, she's swinging at the lord while she's routing. She's swinging this whole time, and her hitbox is broken, so the lord can't get to her, because the hitbox is those front horses. So the lord can't quite get there. She can't swing back, but the Zarina is killing her. While she's routing, she kills the horse lord. Right? And that's just, like, that's completely bugged. That's not like a mass thing, you know, or like, oh, she has too much mass, but they'll fix it. Like, no, that's flat out bugged. No unit in the game attacks you while it's routing, but she does the whole way out. So, no, that's not kosher. We can't allow that. Just a heads up why you might not see her. Anyway, on with the replays. On with the replays. Alright, Tomb Kings. 4 skeleton horse archers here for Blob Sauce. versus Dwemer Puzzlebox on his Ogre Kingdoms. 4 skeleton horse archers, then we have some basic skeleton archers in the back. The Chosen of the Gods, Ushabti Greatbow, Arwar, basic melee Ushabti as well. 2 Tomb Guard, and then a front line of skeleton warriors mixed with Tomb Guard as well. Tomb Guard with halberds in the back, and then DJ Kotep. I don't believe he's on his DJ booth. Yeah, he's just on horse with some spells. Ooh, Skullstorm I don't approve of because I guess it'll clear out Gnoblars. Maybe that's why he's double Skullstorm, but generally it's just not a great spell. Otherwise, the build's actually pretty solid. On the other side, the 4 Sabertusk packs, now with Rampage being fixed, they no longer infinitely Rampage, which does just make them a mobile source with a really high base weapon strength. They can be pretty good. 4 Gnoblar Trappers is good, 4 Gnoblars in the front line is fine. Then we have 2 Man-Eaters with great weapons, some Ogre Bulls, 2 Lead Belchers deal with Halberd Blobs, and then Troll Guts Caster. I like that a lot. Sabertusk packs getting in a fight. But their Rampage is taking them into some Tomb Guard with Halberds, so that was really good by Blob Sauce to take these guys up and intercept those guys. So nice job punishing the Rampage there. This is good. Now, Kotep's going to have to use those Skull Storms of his to clear out the Gnoblars before the Ogre Bulls get here and really force the Ogre Bulls to stand alone. Gnoblars carry the Ogre roster because they give you a little bit of buffering, where if Ogres have to fight all on their own, they get, the Skeleton Warriors will fight like 4 warriors to every single Ogre Bull because their model count is just so different. I'd probably invest in a Skeleton Spearman front line instead of Skeleton Warriors, but that's really the only complaint I have with the Tomb Kings build. The Man-Eaters are here, and they're going to make short work of everything in their way. If they can stay away from the Halberds, they will just mulch this whole formation. And we can see that these guys took a bit of damage. Looks like from the Chosen of the Gods, maybe. But the Sabertusk and the Man-Eaters are flooding into the backline. That's going to be a big problem for the Tomb Kings. Lead Belchers taking a lot of damage, so that's going okay. But I really wonder what we're going to do about these guys in the back. Skeleton Horse Archers are getting a couple little pokes off. And the Man-Eaters, 40 armor, no missile resist, no shields. They will take a lot of damage from this Skirmish Cav, considering it's only 400 gold Skirmish Cav. But they got the target they wanted on these Chosen of the Gods. Ogres pulling back to even on the balance of power. They're a little behind for a little bit. The Tomb Guard with Halberds are closing in. Man-Eaters should be able to finish their job and go. They can probably get out of here just in time. Ushabti melee versions are pushing off through some Gnoblars. We'll see if they want to deal with the Trappers. And the Tomb King's front line is holding, but the problem is the Ogre Kingdom just kind of blew through it or around it. They didn't bother to actually stop and fight it. Killed off a melee Ushabti and the Ushabti Greatbows in the back. That's a pretty big win for the Ogre Kingdoms. Man-Eater's starting to pathway from the Halberds. That's good. That's good. Don't want to fight those guys just yet. You'll leave them for your Lead Belchers in the late game, especially now with the Ushabti Greatbows out of service. The Lead Belchers should be safe and sound all game long, so you can save a little bit of ammunition to kill the Tomb Guard with Halberds. But a sneaky Ushabti summon right on top of these Lead Belchers. We'll see if the Ogre Kingdoms realize the danger, but their screen might be more like right here or something, you know? Microing the stuff that's actually moving around and not noticing these Ushabti behind them, so we'll see. Lead Belchers firing away at some random Tomb Guard. Wonder if they'll have enough ammo to deal with the Halberds in the late game. Man-Eaters finding their way with Skeleton Archers. The Tomb King's still pulling further ahead on the balance of power. Oh no! Kotep! I was going to say the Tomb Kings were doing well in the balance of power, but the Man-Eaters surround Kotep and just delete his ass. Oh, I didn't even notice it happening. Clearly the Tomb Kings player didn't notice it happening either. Ushabti Summon did take out that secondary Lead Belcher. Gnoblars are also going to route from it. I wonder if it'll run up and sneak up on those Lead Belchers. And the Tomb Kings not lovingly lost their lord, of course. Of course, of course. If Kotep hadn't died, they'd actually be in a really dominant position this game. And even though he died, they might have a shot, because these Man-Eaters are taking some serious damage. It depends on how many Butchers and Troll Guts we have on deck right now to bail out some of these Man-Eaters. And if these Lead Belchers can survive, though, that's a natural Ushabti that's on top of them. The summon will fade away in 20 seconds, but the natural Ushabti is going to chase these guys to his death. There's nothing back here that can peel. I guess there's some Ogre Bulls rallying. They'll lose to the Ushabti, because the Ushabti are literally full HP, but they'll stall some time. Those Lead Belchers getting out of the way, though, that's really concerning. Because we have these Tomb Guard Halberds, we have the other Tomb Guard Halberds. First Troll Guts coming in for the Man-Eaters, going to heal them up. They do need that, and that is nice. Though they've already lost 9 of their 16 models. They're down to 7. Sabertusk packs fighting against these archers. Chomping them up. Go, guys, go. I am happy that the Rampage bug got fixed. That is a big win. In an overall patch that a lot of people, myself included, are very negative about, I will say the Rampage bug is a good fix. It's okay, Guillaume. You know where to find us. How are things? How's your tournament? I looked at your tournament on Total Tavern. It looks like you have like 26 signups, which is pretty huge. Rome 1 chariots with scythes on the wheels were able to damage units even when they're routing. Kind of makes sense, but in Kattern it's exact opposite. The chariot doesn't damage, the rider does. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just bugged. We removed it. We didn't remove it because of like the infantry stuff. We removed it because of the really weird routing conditions. Whatever, dude, you missed the check-in? I'm sorry. There was a ping and then a second check-in and then all that stuff. We have missed you. I hope you're doing well. It's been a long time, but I remember you. Hope you're going strong, buddy. You entered with a weird patch. The meta for the last, like, 5 months has actually been really cool. I've enjoyed it a lot. And then this patch was, like, uniquely bad. Every faction besides the factions that got DLC is still totally fine. But the thing is that all the factions that got DLC are so ridiculously overpowered. That is kind of insane. Oh, God. Alright, the Tomb Guard's still trying to hold on. Balance of power shifting heavily against the Tomb Kings as these Man-Eaters did get the healing they needed to stay alive. And even though if everything was unbreakable, the Tomb Guard might be able to just cleave through these Man-Eaters. Balance of power don't work that way, and we still have Leadbelchers able to kite it out. So I do think the Ogre Kingdoms would win even without Balance of Power putting its thumb on the scale, though it is going to put its thumb on the scale a little early here and end this game. Overall, I liked both players' builds. It did come down to the one mistake. Kotep getting caught 100% lost the Tomb Kings this game, and it won the Ogres the game. I think if Kotep had survived, the Tomb Kings would have been able to grind it out. They were in a pretty good position. And while that sounds really dumb, it depends on your perspective. I do find it fun that there's, you know, in land battles, if you make... Depends on the mistake, but sometimes a key mistake can cost you an entire game. I find it kind of fun because then you got to think about it from the losing side too, right? Like, you might be behind, but one good play can get you back into the game, right? It's not like, well, I got a bad engagement at the start and my whole game is over. It's like, depends on how bad the engagement was, because if you can make a mistake, your opponent can make a mistake. It's really about who punishes the other mistakes more. Scrolled through the values, didn't see anything too crazy. It was overall just a solid build. I think my only notes on either of the builds, I liked both of them. They were both pretty solid. The only thing I would change is Blob Sauce. If you could find the money to turn these two Skeleton Warriors into Skeleton Spears, that'd be pretty fine. I like the Skeleton Archers. We don't see a lot of them, but they are good, consistent damage versus the Ogres, and they're just really annoying. You know, Skeleton Horse Archers have been proving their worth time and time again, so that's good. Your Tomb Guard frontline held for a while. The Halberds were the real threat of the whole game, so yeah, I like that. Maybe you could downgrade a Tomb Guard to get 4 Skeleton Spears, because you could get 2 for him, and then you could turn these 2 into Skeleton Spears. Maybe that'd be more worth it, but... Alright. No new stuff. I mean, I guess it's new stuff with the Lizardmen buffs, but no new stuff there. Hey, a Kislev mirror. And then some Grand Cathay. Alright, there's DLC stuff coming up. There's DLC stuff coming up. Put your pants back on. Let's go to a DLC matchup now so you're not all like, boo. Boo, the fun factions are getting played. Boo. Alright. We have Yashkov and Dr. Nerd. Actually, the 2 people I predicted to probably be our winners for tonight. Out of the 11 players, I think these 2 are probably going to be the best. And we do have a smattering of the new stuff. Both sides taking 5 of the new halberds. And then Yashkov taking the new Lord, the Drazina, and double Little Grom with their buffs. Plus the Streltsy ROR with their buffs. And Dr. Nerd taking the new hero and a Hag Witch with death. Not the new lore of hags. He's also taking the Golden Knight, Nyarska. I think she's trash. I think she's just way too expensive for what she does. But she has some neat little things. With Boris at her side, though, there's no healing here. They didn't bring any healing. That's the HP they're going to get. We also have some Griffin Legion, which got some severe buffs. Which I guess they needed, but Kislev was already a strong faction without them, so now it's like, cool, this unit's really strong, nice, but the roster didn't need it right now. The roster's already fucking busted. So we have double Griffin Legion post-buffs, Boris Ursus post-buff, Hag Witch of Death, the Golden Knight, and then 5 of those Kislevite Warriors and 5 Kossars. On the other side, 2 Kossovite Dervishes for Yashkov. We have double Little Groms post-buffs trying to snipe out Boris, but they're shooting through some trees right now, so the trees are going to block some of their shots. We have the Boydivov's Brawlers, Streltsy ROR, posted their buffs. I think they just got some charge bonus buffs, so we'll see how much that really matters. And then the Wolfhearts, Akshinabasher ROR, that's already netting down this Griffin Legion while it's in range of the guns. Ooh, that is huge. Really quickly, we also have the Drazina with their ranged buffs, and then a Tempest Caster with Gust of True Flight and Hailstorm. The Streltsy firing downhill into the Griffin Legion. Yashkov, for future reference, again, in new player tournaments, we try to be really chill about the rules, but I will just mention them. This Kislev deployment is a little close to the white line. You can see how Dr. Nerd has issues flanking you without hitting the white line, so if anything he has routes, it goes immediately off. That's why we say 200 meters away from the white line. You'll probably have to be a little further away. For the future, not just saying, like, go back and fix it now or anything. Just heads up for in more serious try-hard tournaments in the future. If you got in trouble and lost the game you should have won because you were a little too close to white line, that would suck ass. Front lines are colliding, but that Griffin Legion got smoked on the back line by all the ranged pressure. A quick Hailstorm on some Kossars, doing a little bit of damage to them. We have Kossovite Dervishes rolling out to go disrupt some Kossars while Griffin Legions try and peel them off. Little Grom firing downhill into the Griffin Legion, getting a really good shot off at first. These Kislev warriors already have their Buyer Blood popped, same with the armored Kossars with great weapons. As the front line is crumbling a little bit, another Spirit Leech onto the Frostmaiden of Tempest. The Griffin Legion just relying on Buyer Blood, but they're going to shatter as soon as it wears off. Never mind, they die while it's still active. The Wolfhearts need to kite backwards a little bit, but Kislev is closing in, and Red Kislev, I mean. Griffin Legion fighting against some Dervishes and doing fine, but like the front line of the green side is melting, and that'll leave the Little Groms, where a ton of this army's resources are, in grave danger. As the Kossars are already pulling up and doing a little bit of damage, the heroes are also going to get over here and have their way with it. Let's see if the Brawlers and the Wolfhearts have anything to say. Maybe they can net Boris, and both of them shooting at him would actually snipe him down pretty fast. Little Grom is still punishing the Griffin Legion. So for the Griffin Legions and all their buffs, Yashkov very effectively took them out before they got like any value back. Wow, this one already got 1400. Where? How? It just fought Dervishes. Where did you get all that value? Holy shit. Okay, I don't know what they fought, but they killed it. They killed it immediately. Where did they get that value? What did they do? Spirit Leech is going to kill the Frostmaiden of Tempest any second now. Boris and the Golden Knight are here, and the Drazina is a solid melee combatant, but Boris and the Golden Knight are both very, very good at it, so he is a little outclassed. The ranged units of Green Kislev are still online, but they're having issues really making an impact on this battlefield, as Dr. Nerd has saturated them with Kislevite warriors before, Griffin Legion just before that, so it's been a tough time. Little Grom's trying to fire down the line of these Griffin Legion on their charge, and 4 Kossars are now in range. There is another pack trap, really trying to kill the Griffin Legion, and they will, but I worry about Boris and the Golden Knight, wherever she is. No Patriarch, Ethical Kislev. These are some pretty pog builds, I'll agree. How much anti-large is on those halberds? I don't know. Let's see. 15. Do I see a double fire in Satang? Where is all this money coming from? Having a 350 gold peasant frontline, probably. I hope you're doing good tonight. You are particularly good looking tonight. Wink, wink, wink. Hey, little Joe, how you doing? How you doing? Boris is still draining with the Shard Blade as he fights in the middle of halberds with the Drazina. Now, the halberds are probably going to mess him up pretty good. Oh, and the Hagwitch gets murdered by the Brawlers. I missed it. I wanted to see that happen. And now the Wolfhearts are aiming at the Hero Hammer. Little Grom is kiting back. I think there's just too many Kislevites. Dr. Nerd has too good of an army left over. Like, there's a whole bunch of Kossars and stuff. I think even if he snipes out Boris and the Golden Knight here, these Kossars are going to slowly walk at him and whittle Yashkov down here, but it was a pretty admirable performance. Wolfheart's firing back into the Kislev warriors as the Brawlers wait for Boris to get visible. They're currently obstructed by their own brethren. But I'm ready. I'm just waiting for them to get one volley and delete him, because I think they could actually kill him from this HP point at point-blank range with a full unit. So if you're ever in this situation, you should path your Kislevite warriors downhill. Just walk them away from Boris so your Streltsy can get a free shot onto him. Just an FYI. It's a nice little way to get some snipe. I mean, he is sitting in halberds, but if your specific purpose is trying to get these brawlers to shoot him, then you need to move these guys. It's something I learned from having to kill Count Noctilus for every single Vampire Coast game since they were released. Because Foot Noctilus has been the best lord for a very long time. The halberds are going to finish off Boris. But I think my concern still stands that there's just nothing left, right? Boris is dead, but what kills all of these ranged Kossars that are just going to shoot your Streltsy? They're going to shoot Little Grom and stuff. Balance of power is wavering up and down and up and down. The Golden Knight taking some damage from the halberds in the back. She chases off the Druzina. And that was a good one. That was a good one. There's worse things in the world as the Brawlers try and take out the Golden Knight on her way back in. Her 15% missile resistance, 120 armor, and silver shield kept her safe from the first couple volleys, but the Kossars continue to rain in fire. The Brawlers are just trying to finish her off. Pop her by her blood. She's at 1200 HP. Kind of surprised the army losses hasn't hit yet. For Red Kislev, we have 4 healthy-ish Kossars, and that's about it. Golden Knight's pretty much dead. I guess we have 2 wounded halberds rejoining the fight. For green, we just have the Little Grom that's currently dying, and then everything else is toast. Times 2 speed at this point, because we're just waiting for Biobloods to wear off, and then this is Ogre. It's GG. And a GG it was. When I saw a Kislev mirror, I was really worried we were going to get something sad. Like Bear Blob versus Bear Blob. Could have been silly. We're getting some more replays. Allow me to save those up. Hi, Hot Fire Potato. For Yashkaf, the Little Groms unfortunately didn't have too much to shoot at or much time to do it. The ROR range units both did fantastically. The halberds, I bet we'll know which one got Boris. Yeah, the one with 2,100 value got Boris and beat him up. For Dr. Nerd, Boris did okay. Golden Knight got about half her value back. Death Witch did a ton of value. One of the Griffin Legions somehow, somewhere got a ton of value. I didn't see what they killed. I thought it killed 2 Kossovite Dervishes, and then all of a sudden it had 1,400 value. But his Kossars were the real winners of the day. These little archers all paid for themselves twice over. That's GG. Continued appreciation for the land battle focus? No. I refuse to accept your appreciation. I accept only hatred and vitriol. Hi, Zero. And whatever, dude? Yeah. We've been running them that way for a bit. We just, it can get a little tricky. When the numbers get up there and we have a bunch of people playing, it can get a little tricky. Alright, let's go back to High Elves Lizards. Now again, this is kind of new because Lizardmen got lit, like, everything got buffed. So, I mean, it's kind of a new faction, but, you know. It's the old ones. Your chair broke, but now you have sushi. Alright, Hot Fire Potato, that sounds like a win. We have Boon Tax Evasion with Croc, Gar, and a Heaven's Skink versus Incars with a Lethanar and some Sisters of Averlarn. How's the new patch? It depends, Zero. Overall bad. Not unplayable, but overall it is bad. They buffed all of the S-tier factions, and they nerfed Slaanesh. Other than that, there was some good bug fixes, but like, half of the new units are useless, and the other half are wildly overpowered, and they're already on rosters that are performing way over their value. So, it just... It's not the worst thing in the world, but it is very disappointing. I need you to check the replay I'm about to send you. Cool. Alright. Alright, we have 2 Ripperdactyl Riders, one of which is the Clawson Hunters, 2 Feral Cold Ones, a Chameleon Stalker, post buffs, Saurus Warrior front line, Kroq-Gar, and a Skink Priest of Heavens on his spooky, scary dino. Why they nerfed to Slaanesh? They changed how Rampage works and then took some Rampages away from Slaanesh, which was a nerf to them overall. For the other side, for Incarns, we have 4 Silvern Guard on the front line, 2 Sisters of Avalorn, 1 London Sea Guard, a couple Silver Helms for some peeling, an Eco Claw Bolt Thrower, White Lions of Grace, a Lethonar, and a Mage of High Magic with Apotheosis, Soul Quench, and Tempest. Speaking of all that, Skink Priest of Heavens got deleted by the Sisters of Avalorn on his charge in, and then a Tempest hits 2 Ripperdactyl Riders. It'll do a little bit of poke, but not a ton. Tempest does a lot more damage to single entities than to multi-entity models these days, but the archers should do some decent work. Now, it looks like a lot of the arrows are missing. Tons of them are still hitting the ground beyond these guys. That's a little disappointing on the side of the High Elves, as the Saurus have hit the Silvern Guard front line. Without assistance, the Silvern Guard will beat up on the Saurus. No real issues there. White Lions moving forward to peel the Saurus that managed to slip through the front line. We'll see what the Silver Helms can do on the Feral Cold Ones, but we might have something else to focus on as Kroq-Gar is rolling through the back line. Just trying to stop the Sisters of Avalorn for a bit, but wherever he goes, the other one is just going to aim and shoot at his backside. And Spartan did not bring any healing for him, so his HP is the HP he gets. Skink Priest of Heavens is back with his Curse of Honor here and Wind Blast. Why did you take Wind Blast? Wind Blast is terrible. It actually does no damage, Spartan. It does nothing. Try it in testing, it's awful. Even for 5 Winds of Magic, it's still terrible. Kroq-Gar is losing a lot of HP. The Saurus front line is getting nowhere fast, and the Feral Cold Ones are now streaking in to try and shut down the Eagle Bolt Thrower and at least get a little bit of a win. But the Lizardmen are terrifyingly far behind on the balance of power considering how early in the game it is, though I do not agree. They have lost a lot in this early game as a Moonbow finally spooks Kroq-Gar off the map. And Sisters of Avalorn can't decide if those Silver Helms are friend or foe, considering how much friendly fire they just laid into those guys. Feral Cold Ones routing off on the back line. Kroq-Gar and the Skink Priest of Heavens are both just about dead, and the Saurus front line is almost toast too. That is an across-the-board sweep here for the High Elves. What are the S and S tier factions now? Tzeentch, Kislev, Cathay, Lizards, Brett, and Dark Elves. Cut Dark Elves, and you're correct. The only loss to Rampage and Brigand's Beguilement, Pius. Yeah. The army abilities being moved around was pretty bad for Slaanesh. And then Pavane was supposed to lose Rampage, but they fucked up and left it on there, which is fine by me. The patch notes specifically said they were going to take it off, and then they didn't. And then the Bringer's Beguilement getting nerfed is also really bad. Oh, there were things in the woods. Okay, I didn't even notice the things in the woods, so yeah, Jacob, that would do it. That'd be where the value came from. At this point, there is no hope for the Lizardmen, so I'm going to just fast forward as the Chi-Chi is out. Alright, Spartan yelled at me that their next game was really good, so I'll go check that out. Lizardmen, it was a bit of a clappening. Not a lot to analyze here. Their front line was too slow to get through, just like Saurus can't get through Silvern Guard that fast, and then the Sisters of Avalorn pew-pewed everything to death. High Elves OP. Nerf, please. Alright, let's see Setang the Watcher. Let's go. Wait, are any of these repeats? I'm just making sure I don't cast games twice. No. Okay. Oh, Setang. I am not a fan of him. He is way too strong. He is redonkulous and stupid. CA should not put him in the game. Ever. In cars, you did great. I've fought Setang twice. Once he didn't do that much, but then the second game, actually funny enough, versus Dr. Nerd, I put everything into killing Setang, and I still couldn't, so I just had to rush him instead. It was very, very scary. For the side of the Empire, since a lot of this roster is going to be dead in the first 20 seconds of the game, we have a bunch of Empire Knights, 2 Outriders, Grenade Launchers, Boris Todbringer, Deathcaster, Fatabuna, and Spirit Leech, and then a backline of Great Swords and Halberdiers with Spearmen and Swordsmen across the front. On the other side, for the Grand Cathay build, we have 2 Fire Rain Rockets, Zaytang the Watcher with his crazy bow, and we have some Jade Warrior Crossmen, Jade Warrior Halberds, and Jade Warrior Frontline. The Lord Magistrate in his box to give some accuracy and reload skill buffs, and then melee defense buffs for multiple reasons, and then a Final Transmutation in Syrian Doomcaster. We have some Peasant Horsemen as well. Let the firing commence. Zaytang's firing at some random spearmen. That's not really his forte. He's good at sniping out enemy artillery or cavalry or single entities or things like that. Oh, and some people told me if he fires down the line of infantry, he gets insane value. But that seems very hard to pull off. Especially in like this early game format. Firing rockets raining into the great swords. And it's funny that I preface this by saying Zaytang's OP, and then, like, he has missed every single shot at the start here, which is not normal. Alright. That's also pretty limp. Maybe Zaytang sucks. Did Skink Lords and Swords Lords get buffs? Yes. Yes, they did. Zaytang needs the Nerf Hammer, got it. Wait, which of these other new units are like broadly multiplayer viable? The Centaurs of Tzeentch stat line looks terrible, but strangely they perform quite good, so I don't know what that's about. But yeah, Centaurs of Tzeentch are good. The Tzeentch Lords are quite good. The new Lord, the new Hero are both quite good for Tzeentch. They're plenty viable for multiplayer. All the stuff Kislev got's pretty good for multiplayer, except for the Frostworm. The Frostworm is the worst unit I've ever seen in this game. It is actually fucking terrible. Alright, what is happening with the snipe here? I got a little bit of damage onto Boris, but it's mostly missing overall. Firing rockets, firing at close range in these swordsmen, trying to rout them off while grenade launchers move up and shoot the Jade Warrior crossbows. Meanwhile, Empire Knights do a suicide dive down onto the firing rocket, and Zaytang's still trying to get anything done, but he has had a really rough game. He is missing more than I've ever seen him miss. And I'm sure Dr. Nerd is just thrilled about that, because his he brought a Lord that specifically gives accuracy, and now Zaytang's accuracy is worse than ever before. Anyway, for the rest of your question, Cathay stuff, honestly, Zaytang is pretty good, and the Celestial Lion mount is pretty good for the general. But the rest of the stuff feels okay. I don't know. The Grand Cathay stuff they added feels the least overpowered or viable. He's done literally nothing all game. He's just standing around missing all of his shots. Anyway, while I focus on Zaytang, though, the battle is going bad for the Empire. And a really nice predictive Searing Doom. That was good, that was good. But, like, they took so much damage on the way in from these firing rockets and crossbows and stuff, they're actually still mostly routing. Zaytang tries to kite it out. He's going to start shooting at Boris now. Lines up the shot. Hits him a little bit. Is the Frostworm worse than the Frostworm? Yes. Oh, yes. The Frostworm is much worse. Okay, dude, a triple gold chevron Frostworm costs 1,900 gold. It lost to a basic mutant Rat Ogre. A basic mutant Rat Ogre beat it in 1v1. And it can't cycle charge Swordmasters of Hoeth to death. It gets stuck in Clan Rats, like stuck in Clan Rats. I couldn't path out at all. It's awful. It's just a horrendous thing. He shot his own guys 3 times in a row. I guess he did that. Final Trans is out onto these Spearmen. I love how we're casting Final Trans onto Spearmen and Halberdiers, not Boris, because I guess you do have enough single entity sniping with Zaytang. Like, I keep telling you this, but he's going to miss every shot. But, like, normally you have a lot of single entity pressure with Zaytang. I promise. He can. Commiserations to the Ice Witch. Yeah. So the Kislev stuff is really, really good. The Tzeentch stuff is really, really good. The Cathay stuff is more mixed, but overall Cathay got some pretty good buffs. As you can see, they're still raffle stomping the Empire, even though they have a 2,200 gold paperweight standing around. Empire grenade launcher still trying to get some stuff done. They have gotten 64 kills, 750 value. And the Empire State troops are rolling up. Cathay is now behind the balance of power, and he again misses Boris. What is this? He's missing Boris all over the goddamn place. Lord Magistrate getting Spirit Leech, going to get rear charged by Boris. And take some big chunks. Zaytang, you got to do something, my friend. There's a good chunk. I wonder if he's going to use his ability soon, but I know it's better at long ranges. At short ranges, the spread missiles don't come back together fast enough to like hit at the same target all at once. They're already starting to smoke Boris a little bit. Grenade launcher is trying to punish the Jade Warrior Halberds, not getting too much value out just yet. Another Searing Doom will kill off the Halberdiers. Zaytang is chilling. Misses because Boris was diving, though that one I won't blame him. And then Boris terror outs off the Jade Warriors. He's also going to take out the Lord Magistrate in a second now. And Zaytang has to do something. He's using his special ability. Decent little damage onto Boris and the Spearman nearby, but again, he was at close-ish range, so those spread-out missiles don't all come back together at once. Zaytang continues to poke away at Boris. For the rest of the map, if Boris dies, the Empire leadership might just flounder away. But I don't know how much Cathay really has left in the tank, because they're relying... I mean, Zaytang is 2,200 gold. He's still full HP, half ammunition. So that's holding a lot of the balance of power up. Another Spirit Leech onto him, and it looks like he's going to charge forward and try and push Boris off himself. The Stomp gets the value out even as Boris is running away. And I think he's going to line up a shot as Boris is fleeing, and then if he hits, he should rout Boris off. There he hits. And he should be able to finish him if Boris can't dodge, then he's going to take 2 more shots and die. So I think this is the end of the Empire Lord, but it doesn't matter. The Metals Caster, I think that over-ambitious Final Transmutation on some random-ass Halberdiers is coming back to haunt them. Because they would have wanted that to help snipe out Boris, or just more Searing Dooms to punish the rest of the front line. This is the best Outrider player I think I've seen this year. He's doing pretty good. Except for these guys. Don't know what they're doing. Now they're waking up. Good volley. We still have another Outrider grenade launcher over here. Boris is back. What can Zaytang do? Still have some Jade Warriors trying to help out here and there. Lord Magistrate's still alive. Alchemist is much healthier than I would have expected in this little blob. If she has a Searing Doom, she can free herself by casting it there, and either they dodge it and she gets free, or they don't dodge it and they take a ton of damage, route, and then she gets free. Zaytang again hits Boris. Oh, okay, he's at 3,000 value-ish. He has so much ammunition, too. He still has 20 shots left. Another Final Transmutation down. This one is pretty good, because it'll hit the Death Wizard, too, and hit all these units, so I approve. I like it. Lord Magistrate getting hit with a Spirit Leech. The Alchemist continues to fight back. Zaytang's winding up a shot again, but at close range, I don't know if it'll really hit. No, it can't. You need to be further away to get that value. Not like he can choose that, right? Boris is as close to him as he is, and Zaytang's not going to stop that. Alchemist is routing bounce power tips against the forces of Cathay. They're chilling. Anybody else see when the Empire Knights canceled their attack orders onto Zaytang? I did not see that. Another rout in from Boris. One more shot will kill him. And I wonder if Zaytang needs to throw on guard mode and just shoot at Boris to kill him one more time. Because, like, getting the Lord is Dead leadership spike is so important for beating the Empire in this late game when you're particularly wounded. You just need to lower their leadership as much as possible and rely on your giant terror-causing, unbreakable flying man to kill them off. Lord Magistrate routes, but he throws an Inspired Defense on Zaytang as he goes. Zaytang's lined up the shot. Does he have guard mode on? He just needs to fire one time as he lines it up. Boris is on the ground. He's a sitting duck, and you miss anyway! What is this? How are you missing? You wildly inconsistent bitch. Dives into all these fools. Boris's heel captain still routing. Zaytang's gonna try and carry. 3,500 value for him so far. Continues to climb. And I'm feeling a little vindicated that he fucked up so many shots and missed so many things, and he still has 3,500 value. Grey Wizard's gonna walk off. Death. Amethyst Wizard. Jesus. Amethyst Wizard's gonna walk off the Alchemist. Empire people all chasing off everything else. Zaytang is alone as he's stuck fighting in Halberdiers and Empire Knights. He did not bring his Goomba Stomp. That would help out in this specific situation, though. It is hard to predict you'll be in this exact situation. Desire Drive? I definitely felt that last patch. I don't feel that as much. I don't feel like that's a new thing in this patch. I just felt like it's been a thing for a while. Boris staying safe is perfect. He's at 0 leadership, but he's staying alive. That's all he needs is another Spirit Leech just going to push down Zaytang. As he tries to get somewhere to get a shot onto Boris, it looks like not going to be able to do so, and instead just charges these great swords with a flying jump swing. Routes them off immediately. They were at -2. Terror out takes him, whatever. Bounce power stepping heavily against Zaytang at this point. All times 2 speed unless he gets a shot off, but army losses takes care of him. And that's GG. Nice try, Trogdor. The Lord Magistrate still did not appear to be very good, unfortunately. Alchemist did fine. Fire and Rockets mixed, but overall fine. And the Jade Warriors got rolled by the grenade launchers of Trogdor and the Great Swords. And that's GG. For Trogdor, Boris was a good support. Amethyst Wizard did fine. Great Swords cleared out some stuff. Empire Knights were the heroes of the day, along with the grenade launchers. And that is that. GG. Very close game, and a good game. Dude, I don't know what was on with Zaytang. He missed fucking everything. Zaytang did not want Dr. Nerd to win that. He was like, nah, fuck this. Fuck this noise. Okay. Alright. Game 2. Was that Dr. Nerd? No, Dr. Nerd fought Yashkov. This was Nerd Regular who fought Trogdor. Okay, I think I was just being stupid. Yeah, this is a different nerd. Oh, I'm being dumb. I'm sorry, that nerd. There's Dr. Nerd and then there's Nerd in the same tournament. That makes me confused.
To flee is to be disloyal. And disloyalty means execution. You can win.
Okay.
You must win.
Sorry, I got some messages. Okay. Kislev. Oh no, Kislev lost. All right, Kislev versus Grand Cathay. Yashkov on Kislev. A front line of Kislevite warriors. Triple things in the woods, one of which is the Beowulfs. Double Snow Leopard. A Patriarch. Oath Brothers, Tor, Griffin Legion, and Tsarina Katerin on her Ice Drake. Frostworm, sorry. Okay, Middle Scepter Dr. Nerd. Zaytang, firing away. Jade Warrior frontline, Jade Warrior crossbows, Fire and Rocket Grand Cannon, and more crossbows. He did bring Miao Ying for that regrowth. What happened? I heard my Zaytang missed everything. Dr. Nerd, it was a different nerd. I'm sorry. It was a different nerd. We're casting your game right now. This is your game too. It was a different nerd. Alright, Zaytang's trying to snipe out Tsarina. This is a hard shot for him to make. She is on that squirrely little mount, so he might start missing some things. The firing rocket. Alright, there's another miss from Say Tank. Okay. My propaganda campaign to say he's great is apparently not working. Your game 3 is cool? Your game 1 was pretty cool. The Kislev mirror? That was actually poppin'. That was a good game. That was a good game. I appreciated it a lot. Anyway, Frost Shard Crown thing from Tsarina does good. And the Kislevite front line is blitzing against Grand Cathay. Wherever their peasants are standing, they're doing fine, but the flanks went entirely to Kislev. Dr. Nerd didn't bring anything to really hold down the flanks, and it looks like he's paying for it as his backline starts to fall apart. Tsarina on her Frost Worm is running around, but the Oathbows of Torque taking a lot of damage despite the healing the Patriarch's providing. And Zaytang's just standing among the front line, hoping to do his best. Without the ban, with the ban on New Sled, I think Ostankia is better than Katerin on Worm, probably. As a third Snow Leopard is out from Yashkov. Alright. Miao Ying and Zaytang still holding on. The Oathbrothers of Torque taking a lot of damage, and the triple Snow Leopards of Kislev doing their best. This one is stuck in some Jade Warriors. This one is losing in a fight to Miao Ying very badly. And the third one is a summon, so it'll go away in time. Big old wind up on the ability. Decent damage on Katerin, but not too much. "16 Winds of Magic spell to destroy Lord and Hero." No, you mean the 12 Winds of Magic one, right? That's weird. What spell, Guillermo? The 16 Winds of Magic one? Are Wood Elves any better? No, they didn't get it. They didn't get mentioned in the patch notes like at all. Anyway, it feels like Kislev's winning, but the Balance of Power says Grand Cathay is winning. I wonder if it's because Miao Ying and Zaytang are like 5,000 gold value, and they're still alive. But they don't actually like amount to that, right? They're not actually that good of melee combatants. Alright, of the 3 Snow Leopards, one is almost dead, one is dead. I saw it run off the map, and the other one was a summon, so it's gone. Katerin's still trying to deal with Zaytang a bit. As a cannon gets back online and hits her in the bum, a regrowth is going to try and save the Watcher. Cannon is still poking away at Katerin. And Zaytang will be an okay duelist here. Not amazing. We still have some Jade Warrior crossbows, still have some Jade Warriors, the things in the woods and the halberds are trying to get rid of them. And they should succeed if given enough time. Big heal comes in for Katerin from the Patriarch, and now it is the healing single entity time. As the Patriarch and Katerin try to take on Zaytang. Meow. The Rampage spell of Lore of Hag and minus 24 melee attack. Alright, yeah, I'll have to check that out after this game because I have no idea what you're talking about. You're talking about Sun? Alright, someone asked me to save some replays. Zaytang getting beat up by the Tsarina and all these halberds surrounding him, and he is going to start to go down. Miao Ying also getting quite low, and then without that, Grand Cathay is about out of gas, so I think they'll be losing this one too. Nerd's asking me why I'm casting this game again. Nice snipe in from Zaytang, getting some good damage out. That won't be enough. And Miao Ying is going to transform into a dragon self, which can cause some terror routes here and there, but by our blood, it's really hard to get those off. Just up in the sky, Zaytang's about to die. In this game, he only got 2,000, so he's still paying for himself, but I think this is doomed at this point. Katerin on her Ice Drake, getting good value. As a mount for Katerin, Frostworm is just cheap extra 3,000 HP. I guess, but it is very expensive. Snow Leopards sucked and died. Halberds did well. Things in the Woods did well. Patriarch healed up a bunch. The Griffin Legion did great, while the Warbears got mostly sniped out. Katerin did fine. When I transfer my way in Kislev's favor, I imagine because you don't have any spells when you're the dragon. Miang and Zaytang getting about 2,000 value apiece. Cannon did okay. Crossbows mixed, but overall struggling a little bit. And peasants and Jade Warriors mixed, but mostly the peasant long spears did well. Okay, now you guys have piqued my interest, so I need to just quickly go figure out what the hell you're talking about with this spell stuff. Kislev. I'm already on Kislev, I'm just on the wrong lord. Okay, so what spell? 16 Winds of Magic spell. The Madness one. And then if you overcast it, does it do something else? No. The 16 Winds of Magic spell doesn't delete their lord. It doesn't do any damage. You must mean, like, it puts them in a bad situation and then they get deleted or something. It's Malediction of Madness. It doesn't do any damage, though, right? Or does it? Does it do secret damage that I'm not allowed to know about? I just want to see what the spell's about. Don't go back to the replays. Don't you worry. Alright, what the hell is this thing? Malediction of Madness.
You know the tales about me. About Mother Ostankya and her curses and her cauldron. Take heart.
Bonk.
Because the enemy does not. But I will teach them well.
Alright, it doesn't do damage. I was not lied to. I still think her Overcast Traderkin spell is well, she undercasts it, but it's literally the Beastman Overcast Traderkin, but reskinned. It's Vengeance of Spirits. That shit's OP. That shit's bonkers. Alright, let's get on with it. Nerd versus Grumps. And this is the other nerd. This isn't Dr. Nerd, this is the other nerd. Well, there's also Trogdor the Flatland versus Inkars. Alright. We'll do Nerd versus Grumps, because I already did the epic intro and I can't go back now. But Yeah. I misunderstood you. Dude, with the state of this patch, I thought you literally meant delete something with, like, damage dealing. I would not have been shocked, because there's a lot of that going around. Human. What, Spartan? You reported me as the winner when I wasn't? Alright, I'll deal with it later. Alrighty, Bretonnia versus High Elves. Now, for this tournament and all future tournaments, I have put in a limit of 1 Grail unit. It's Grail Knight, Grail Guardian, and Hippogriff Knights. So Bretonnia hopefully won't be as toxic. And everything's kicking off really too fast. I'm going to pause for a second. We have Knights of the Realm, Knights Errant, a bunch of Spear Men-at-Arms and Basic Men-at-Arms, some Peasant Bowmen as well, Damsel of Life with Regrowth and Earthblood, 2 more Knights, 1 of the Realm and 1 Errant. We have Royal Pegasus Knights, Luenlandker, and then on the High Elf side, we have Imric, Lyran Reavers, Spearmen, some Phoenix Guard, Archers and Lothern Sea Guard, and then the Fireborn with their High Caster, who has Soul Quench and Apotheosis. So the Fireborn should beat up the Knights Errant, but I think the Knights Errant are just holding these guys in place, and the Knights of the Realm can surround them and get a rear charge, which will be pretty cool. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, stuff's going on, so I'll let you see over there, but yes, it is a full surround. We'll see if the Bretonnians can even beat the Fireborn, though, because their Knights Errant are about to break. Meanwhile, over here, the Royal Pegasus Knights assisting Lewin are chasing Imric around. He doesn't want anything to do with this. These guys don't have armor piercing, but they do have an impressive anti-large weapon strength. They still have perfect vigor. Guillaume! How dare you! It's okay, dude. It's okay, brother. Alright, here we are. Apotheosis healing up Imric, but Sword of Corona is debuffing him. As the Royal Pegasus Knights get a full surround, he starts to land and get back to his spears. Now, while Imric is having a shit time... Ooh, so are the Fireborn, as they're taking free attacks in the back from the Knights of the Realm. Looks like they need new attack orders onto those guys attacking them, because right now they're just taking damage full free. I wonder if they have guard mode on or something. Don't know. Spearmen trying to surround the Royal Pegasus Knights. The Royal Pegasus Knights are much more like... Alright, Soul Quench. Damage Imric a bit. Anyway. They're much more like Ripperdactyls, where they take a lot of damage if they're in a bad position, but they can do good damage if you get them in a favored situation, so they just require a little bit more skill to play with correctly. Knights of the Realm fighting against the Lyran Reavers. Knights of the Realm should be winning that, and overall Bretonnia does seem to be quite advantaged here, as Imric gets a little bit more healing from that Apotheosis. High Elf Archers are beating the Peasant Bowmen, and the Fireborn now have attack orders onto the Knights of the Realm. We'll see how they can do in that grind fight. Doesn't look like they're doing great, though, so they are going to try and start to fall back. Lewin is still after Imric, but with Phoenix Guard all around, he might want to be a little more careful of what he wishes for here. Imric avoids getting back into the sky. Archer's going to get rear charged by the Royal Pegasus Knights. And they still try and loose some arrows and stop the Peasant Bowman from doing anything. Balance power is in the favor of Bretonnia, and I would definitely agree, as the Dragon Horn is out, giving a little more melee stats to the whole High Elf army. And Imric is up in the sky. What can he do? What can he do? Is he using any breath attacks? Oh, he's about to. That's a nice one. I mean, they're only men-at-arms, but we take those. Is that a regrowth? No, I thought that was a regrowth on the men-at-arms. Now I was going to be just scared. Glad you figured out which nerd is which. I'm trying. Kevin, I'm trying. Don't hurt me, sir. Imric's turn around to go fight Lewin. Meanwhile, the Royal Pegasus Knights are charging in behind him, and this might just be the death of Imric, as Knights of the Realm also opt in to fight. And something somewhere is getting a regrowth. It's the Royal Pegasus Knights. Now, Phoenix Guard are here. If somehow Imric can survive this, just by being tanky and maybe getting some Apotheosis on cooldown, the Phoenix Guard can chew through a lot of these Knights that are here. The Royal Pegasus Knights are taking damage while they're getting this regrowth, so it's about countering itself out, how much damage they're dealing, and Lewin is getting eaten alive. Can the Phoenix Guard put this game on their backs? I don't know, but boy, we're going to try, as the High Elf caster goes to snipe out the Damsel of Life. She is a better combatant if she can ever hit that character that is on foot. And the Earthblood is out to heal up the Knights of the Realm, the Royal Pegasus Knights. More Knights Errant are coming in from chasing off the Lyran Reaver Archers. Imric's trying to stay alive for now. Takes a big hit from Lewin. Ooh, and the Royal Pegasus are all over him. He's going to rout any second now. Does manage to rally by charging down into his own Beloved Seaguard, but now he is trapped. Quick little charge animation takes him to safety briefly, but he is already routing. Takes some more damage. Walks back into Lewin for a gentleman's agreement that he should just go ahead and die for some reason. Phoenix Guard getting really good value. Doesn't seem to be mattering too much. The High Elf Mage is finishing her snipe onto the Damsel. And a Soul Quench pokes Lewin, just for fun. Just a little whoops, I got you, haha. I'm non-Dr. Nerd, so at least I've seen 2 of my games so far. Hey, dude! Hell yeah! I'm trying to cast the games, man. I'm trying. I just didn't know there was 2 nerds. At this point, I am going to fast forward slightly, because I feel like this is doomed. I guess we just have the Phoenix Guard. Maybe they can, like, grind it all out, but I really don't think that even if, like, everybody just YOLO'd in the Phoenix Guard, I still think they would lose. Because there's nothing left. As the peasants start to rally, Bretonnia's just chasing down everything. That's GG. Nice job by Nerdman. Good use of the Royal Pegasus Knights. I liked that a lot. Lewin did well. Knights of the Realm did well. That's good stuff. That was really good stuff. Especially for a new player tournament. Because I feel like you played that nearly perfectly. I'm trying to think, did I notice like any like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this? I don't think so. Grumps didn't play half bad either. It just felt like Imric had a hard time staying alive. As much as I hate to say it, I think he needed like regrowth or something, because Apotheosis just couldn't keep up with the healing Imric needed. That's an illegal build? Why? Oh, men-at-arms. I see. You have 6 men-at-arms because 5 of them have shields and 1 doesn't. Again, it's a new player tournament. We're very loose with the rules, but just an FYI, like, one of these men-at-arms would have to be a men-at-arms with spears, so you would have 8 total. Because the shields and the non-shields are the same unit for this guy, but just FYI. Good catch, Dr. Nerd. And that is Dr. Nerd. Dr. Nerd catching nerds thing, but he's a doctor, so that's how he got it. Okay, Spartan wanted me to check out that build, which is fine. A lot of high elves tonight. I'm not complaining. I'm just noticing. Round 4 from Trogdor. The Door of Trogs. This is Trogdor versus Incarns. I do need to check in the tournament because tonight is flying, dude. People are slamming through their games. We are 1.5 hours from the tournament start, and we have 2 different people who are done with their runs. They did 4 games in 1.5 hours, which doesn't sound impossible, but we have had new player tournaments where it took people 3 hours to complete 4 best of ones, which, while I don't condone that kind of action, I'm just saying it does sometimes take that long. Also, Electric Spinach, if you're out there, I know you're done with your round 2. You need to report your score. Alright, for the Wood Elves, charging in, 3 Dryads, 1 Glade Guard with Hangbane Tips, 2 Eternal Guards. We have Blade Singers, Glade Riders, a Glade Lord with his Helm of Discord on his Dragon, a Glade Captain on the Eagle, and then a Spellstinger of Life with Dwellers Below and Earthblood. For the High Elves, a staunch line of spears, as per usual, with some Lava and Sea Guard, Silverhelm, Spearmen, a whole bunch of archers, including Sisters of Avalorn, and Lava and Sea Guard mixed with the Towns of Torquilada. We have an Archmage of Fire on foot. Cool. Question. Why is everyone and their grandmother all of a sudden taking Sisters of Avalorn? Like, did the High Elf players have a meeting and decide this unit is good now and start taking it? Because nothing changed. You guys just started fucking doing this on your own. Burning Head goes through the Blade Singers, instantly deleting that 1,200 gold unit, which is a big reason you don't often see them. Wild Riders also charging from the side. I didn't notice at the start of the game because they were sneaking up behind me, but they're countercharged by Silver Helms. The Wild Riders might win it, but it might take them too long to win it. A beautiful Dwellers Below from the Wood Elves, though, taking out the Towns of Torquilada and the Sisters of Avalorn at the same time. That is a huge spell. And then a big breath attack down the line of the Lava and Sea Guard. Doesn't do as much damage as I would have hoped because they're a little off-kilter for that breath attack to do big damage, but still, it was a nice little breath attack and a really good play from the Wood Elves here. They had a bad start of insane damage coming in their direction, and they're dragging it back piece by piece with some really good spell placement and some good dragon charges. Wild Riders are about to beat these Silver Helms any day now. And this Dragon Lord tried to help out his other Wild Riders, but they just faltered at the last second. Wood Elves need to rally some of their extra troops back into the fight. Not that it really matters, but you never want people to stand AFK. Double-clicked. Shit, don't do that. Anyway, don't want people to stand AFK because that's bad. Glade Riders trying to help out the Dragon Lord, but now comes the hard part of dealing with any High Elf armies. All their archers are also spears. Well, not all of them, but a lot more than you'd think. Sisters of Avalorn trying to fight their way out against the Glade Riders, and they are doing good damage, but the full health Wild Riders, half health, fine, whatever. The healthy Wild Rider is coming back to the fight, while the other Wild Rider is trying to get a sandwich in on the Silver Helms. The Glade Captain is helping out too. Balance of power tipped in the favor of the Wood Elves for a brief moment. Now it's kind of going back towards the middle as the Glade Lord takes an unconscionable amount of damage from the Lava and Sea Guard and Sister of Avalorn at point-blank range. He didn't like that. He's starting to crawl away. The High Elf caster is a foot caster, though. She's a non-factor as far as melee combatants go. High Elf front line is still holding. Their archers are trying to find a place to really stop and shoot at these Wild Riders, and they're getting a bit of damage done here. Spellsinger of Life probably needs to... Oh, that's going to be a big breath attack, and this time I mean it. Oh, that's a dead Lothern Sea Guard. Hey, Wicked. Some units are not bad, just forgotten. Oh, for sure, I agree with that 100%. It's just funny that, like, everyone agreed at the same time. All right, Lovin's, Sister Avalorn are good now. Let's just do it. Glade Lord taking a lot of damage. He needs spammed Earthbloods from his Spellsinger to stay alive somehow. It looks like she was trying to cast something, though I don't see a Dwellers or an Earthblood going off, so I don't know what she was doing, but she's taking a lot of damage from the Silver and Guard. Meanwhile, Sister of Avalorn getting run down, and the Wood Elf caster is routing. The Glade Lord is taking insane damage, and the front line of the Wood Elves is starting to fall apart. These Blade Singers are hanging in there. 43 leadership on them, despite their low HP. We still have one healthy Eternal Guard. In the distance, we have Silver Helms trying to come back to the fight. Wild Riders do appear to be dominating the flanks, but can these Lothern Seaguard and Silver Guard clutch it out? We'll have to see. If the Wood Elves can stop the bleeding for a little bit, they can just abuse this late game by slowly healing up with Earthbloods and Cycle Charging and stuff. It's not going to be a huge problem for them. Because the Halves are running out of agency fast. Where's their Firecaster? There she is. We need a Burning Head down the line. Like right there. Or like start here and hit this whole Eternal Guard or something. But they have to re-secure their front line so that their archers can shoot. Because these Lothern Seaguard have been under pressure from the Dryads and stuff forever, so they're not shooting. Quick little fireball from her did rout off some of the Wild Riders, but the Glade Captain seems to have noticed her. And with Helm of Discord down, her stats are nothing compared to that of the charging Glade Captain. She's trying to run away now. Trying to get back to the Silver Guard, who the Blade Singers are chomping up. The Blade Singers only have 300 value, which is a shame. They did get Burning Headed right away, which happens, I guess. Lothern Seaguard trying to get rid of the last of the Wood Elf Cavalry. The Firecaster is doomed to a terrible fate as these Lothern Seaguard rally. And again, poke that Glade Lord, who's down to 2,000 HP and falling. He's going to need more Earthbloods and fast. Quick little fireball at point blank range. Good damage, but it's also going to cut that Earthblood Overcast healing in half. And that is huge as Lothern Seaguard continue to pour in shots. He's still on fire, so that healing is still not as good as he would like it to be. Now it starts to actually heal him up for a good deal of damage. Lothern Seaguard firing at him as it goes, but the Archmage of Fire is sniped out by that Glade Captain on his Eagle. And I think the Wood Elves have got it from this point. Lothern Seaguard still trying to kill this Glade Lord just to maybe give themselves a chance in this game of spiking down the Wood Elf leadership, but it is not going to be the case. And that is GG. Another wild game. We're having very, very close games tonight somehow. Alright. People are asking me about tournament stuff, which makes me think round 4 is like done. Okay, Electric Spinach or Yashkov, are either of you in chat? I noticed neither of those games have been reported, and I'm wondering if Spinach is actually still fighting Lowry back in round 2. Glade Captain and the Dragon Lord did fine. Lifecaster also did well with that one huge Dwellers Below. Wild Riders getting amazing value. Glade Riders also did okay. For Incarns, his Firecaster, she probably paid for herself considering she was only on foot. Sister Avalorn did okay. Silverhelm struggled a bit. Lothern Seaguard did pretty darn well. Talons got wrecked right away by something. I think it was the Dwellers Below plus the Cavalry Charge, and then the Spearmen just held forever. Okay. So I'm going to message Spinach and figure out what's going on with you and Lowry still playing. Or just not report score. Okay. Well, that stuff gets figured out. Apparently, Close Game is really good here from Boone Tax Evasion, which I know is Spartan, and then Blaubsaus, we saw in game 1 of the day. Lowry's power went out. One second. Yeah, Lowry's power went out. Spinach and Yashkov haven't reported their scores with you and can play you if they wish. Okay. Sorry, we had a player with a power outage, allegedly. That's why they're lagging behind, but they're back now. So I notified their opponents. Let's carry on. We have Spartan versus... I forget his name. I know what it is on Total Tavern, though. Giwun Tijimin. We saw him in game 1 of the day. He played Tomb Cakes. If you could do an ambush battle, each faction should be caught doing their own thing. Is that Skaven are ambushed while fighting over a New York pizza? Yes. Yes. The triple bloat? There's triple bloat? Oh god, there's triple bloat. Alright, for Spartan and his Vampire Coast shenanigans, we have triple bloated corpse versus the High Elves. 5 zombie polearms, 2 hand cannons. We do have a Deeps Admiral with Lampy's Revenge, Spiteful Shot, and Tide Call. 2 Carronades and a Mortar. The Lamprey's Revenge, and then double Depth Guard polearms, one of which is the Bloody Reaper Depth Guard. Dr. Nerd, I see. On the other side, we have an Archmage of Fire with Burning Head as their only spell. Illyrian Reavers along the backfield. And then triple Eagle Claw, Bolt Thrower, Lothern Sea Guard, and Archers. A whole bunch of Archers, which is very strong versus Vampire Coast. And then Rangers and Illyrian Reavers. Oh god, I was just casting over here, what happened? She ran into the hand cannons, did she? Ah. Alright, ready for a magic trick? The Lord? Yeah. I see it, Spartan. I was busy talking about the armies. I didn't think the Lord would fly right up the hand cannons and instantly die. But it's dead. Bolt throwers should be able to beat the Vampire Coast cannons. So the High Elves should be able to force the coast towards them. And I honestly still don't, much like I said in the Two Kings game, I don't think this game's over just because the Lord's out. What are your bloated corpses gonna do against all these archers, buddy? Are they gonna walk slowly at them and get killed? Anyway. Without the Firecaster, that is definitely a bummer, for sure. But, like, Spartan's build is a bit of a cheeky meme, because he is a cheeky memester. And the High Elf build is really strong. So I still think the strength of this build can win without just the Lord. Like, because your archers are going to kill a lot of stuff. Your artillery is completely safe and firing away. So, like, all 3 bolt throwers could shoot at the Lamp's Revenge in the late game. We have all these archers. I actually think the High Elves still have a good shot. The archers are going to shred these deckhands mobs, and if they don't, the rangers sure will. Meanwhile, Bloated Corpse is going to go fight some Illyrian Reavers. Big explosions, delete the unit. But 2 Bloated Corpses is actually worth more than an Illyrian Reaver. It was a good explosion. I'll give you that. You deleted the whole unit. It was nice to see, but from a cost-effectiveness standpoint, no, that was not worth it at all. Alright. The archers, like I said, they are tearing up this front line with the help of the rangers, and now the hand cannons are moving in range. And this is just a very well-constructed High Elves build. I like it a lot. Another Bloated Corpse is going for a bit of a ride. Meanwhile, the mortars are down to 3 models, now down to 2. Explosions are cooler than value. It's true. He's trying to live for now. Meanwhile, the Deepscaster does chuck out a Crab Summon onto all the archers. And now this little Bloated Corpse is juking for his life. The Crab Summon will disrupt some of the archers, which is good. These Bolt Throwers being uncontested is a very big concern of mine. Mortar's down to 1 model left, and the Illyrian Reavers are going to take out the last Carronade. This is huge, because then if the Bolt Throwers don't have to engage in the artillery duel, they can all focus on shooting the Lamprey's Revenge or shooting at these Depth Guard, and that'll be quite big. High Elf's still doing fine. We still have mobility advantage in the form of Illyrian Reavers, cycle charging around and doing well, peeling for the archers. And the Bloated Corpse does blow up. Looks like the archers got him at last before he got to these spearmen. Illyrian Reavers run into the back line. Carronade is dead. There's no way it rallies now, especially without Invocation of the Heck, because the caster is a Deeps caster, not a Death caster. Sorry, Vampires caster. You may lose, but you put on a show. Hell yeah, dude. It's called going out with a bang. A bang. The High Elves are getting through that Vampire Coast front line, and the superiority of their archers will probably carry the day, as the Bolt Throwers are all now shooting at the Foot caster. I don't know how much damage they get onto him. I guess the crabs are out of range, so they're not too concerned, though I would be a little concerned about their ammunition. Archers teaming off on the depth guard, but yeah, probably put your Bolt Throwers onto the depth guard until the crabs come back in range, and then shoot them a single shot. I don't know if he noticed that the Lord is on foot, or maybe he just doesn't care. Bolt Throwers are really bad at hitting foot characters, but whatever. I guess he's thinking, like, the Vampire caster is the most important thing on the battlefield, so if I snipe him, it doesn't really matter. Which I understand the thinking, if that is true, that's what his thinking is. I just, like, really prioritize killing Lamprey's Revenge with those Bolt Throwers, because they're really good at it, and honestly, the rest of this build isn't. His volume of fire will get it done, but I'm thinking about what's the best option in each situation, not really going to factor in how far ahead someone is. Because at this point, the High Elves are in a really good position, so I mean, whatever they do, they're probably going to be fine, right? But I'm just saying, like, if this was a closer game, or you have a Bolt Thrower in a different situation where the game just started, here are the targets you should be shooting at. This Footlord isn't really taking damage. Archers pincushion the depth guard as they fight against the Rangers and such. Illyrian Reavers trying to fight against Lamprey's Revenge, and they get cooked. That doesn't seem to matter. All hands ahoy, giving these guys some leadership to stop them from crumbling for a little bit. Rangers are getting pushed off, but the archers. Vampire Coast hate archers, and the High Elves have some of the best in the business. This is not a counter matchup, though, actually. Vampire Coast have some decent stuff to deal with High Elves, but you are seeing put on display what the archers can do. What do you prefer, seeing someone who always wins or someone who loses but takes funny builds? I appreciate a good mix of both, brother. I appreciate a good mix of both. It's just in my commentary I'm going to tell people what I think is the correct thing, because some people come here for that. Some people come here for the fun, entertaining builds, which you provide and are definitely on the screen, but some people come here like, dude, shut up, dude, I don't care about the games, I just want to know what to do in quick battles to win more games. So, I try to accommodate both. At this point, I can ×2 speed, as we just watched the Lamprey's Revenge are going to try and not die. The Bolt Throwers are running dangerously low on ammunition. They're also trying to shoot the caster. And they are getting some decent damage down on them, though. Don't worry about those crabos. If you run out of ammo, you actually... The crabs can kill infinite archers in melee. There, the archers and the Bolt Throwers are getting damage. And look at how quickly those Bolt Throwers are doing damage to these guys. That's why I wanted them to target it. Look at them! Look at them go! Messing up those crabs! Nice job, Bolt Throwers. Without the crabs, it's just the caster. Without the caster, there's nothing left, and that'll be GG. Balance power so high still? Yeah, it doesn't really factor in archers that don't have any ammunition as, like, being real humans. The Deeps caster got an impressive 2,100 value. I will not scoff at that. He got a lot of value for being a Deeps caster. Depth Guard got rolled. Lamprey's Revenge did okay. Carronade still didn't do great. Mortar did fine. Hand cannons, that one got the Lord. The other one did not. Bloated corpses, not great value, but man, they were funny. And then the polearms got pincushioned. For Blob Sauce, lost his Lord right away. One game. Puts on sunglasses and walks away. Bolt Throwers, Love and Seaguard did fine. Rangers got some kills, but that's about it. Illyrian Reavers controlled a bit of the battlefield. That's about it. And then the Archers got good value. The Lord at the beginning, though? I know. I know. Alright, I've saved up some more replays. Alright, we have more replays to cast, but I need to do some quick maths here, guys, so give me 1 second. And so you're not left out in the cold, come here with me. The famous Swiss math. Okay, so we have Spartan, Inkar, Trog, Nerd, 1, Yash, Nerd, comma, Doctor, Dwem, Gaboom, Elec, Rum, Law. Cool, so Law lost power. So he has a loss in game 1, and he has a loss in game 4. That's just going to be how it is. Otherwise, he's still playing. Grump, 1. Electric Spinach, 0.5. So got a buy round. Gawoon, 0. Dwem, 1. Nerd Doctor, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. Next round. Trogdor, 1. Incarn, 0. Dwemba, 0.5. Gawoon, 1. Spartan, 0. Dr. Nerd, 0. Yashka, 1. Electric Spinach and Lowry are still fighting, so I'll leave that alone. Grumps, 0. Oops, shit, dick. That's not Grump. Grump, 0. And then Nerd, 1. Round 2. Nerd, 1. 0. Trogdor, 1. Where are you? 1. Cool. Yashkov still playing, so 0, because he has to fight Z-Kind after Electric Spinach. Spartan and Dr. Nerd. Wait, no, that's the one that's incorrect. So then Dr. Nerd gets another point. Spartan got a 0. That one's incorrect, they told me. Gawoon got 1. Electric Spinach got 0. And then Grumps got 0.5. There's another one I'm missing. Why? Inkar. There you are. And Dwembox, 0. Alright, then last round, Dwembox, 1. Trog, 0. Incarn, 1. Grumps, 0. Wow. A lot of people actually trading blows this tournament. That's kind of crazy. Dr. Nerd with almost the perfect sweep, but he lost to Yashkov, who I also warned you, dear viewer, is spooky. He's a spooky, scary guy. He's ready. He's ready to take the world by force. Alright, then Gawoon. I missed Gawoon. There we go. Alright, let's make a sum total. Yep, sum. Microsoft Excel skills will get you through life, and if you don't do that, then you'll die. Okay, so then not finished and not finished. Cool, so we have 3 3s that are finished. They're done. Yashkov could still get a 3, so we'll wait for that. Electric Spinach could get to 2.5. Lowry could get to 2. Okay. Why did I fight Dr. Nerd twice? Is that supposed to happen? If I somehow make it through, I'll give my spot to someone else. Blob. Gawoon? Okay. Hey, thanks for playing. You did not make finals, so you are good. Alright. Hey, if you beat Z-Kind, you are in finals. FYI. Just telling Yashkov that his next game determines whether or not he's in finals. Alright, so no matter what happens, Inkar... Who was Inkar? Inkar Z, okay. Inkar Z, Trogdor, and Dr. Nerd are in finals. Yes, and we're seeing if Yashkov joins them or not. Electric and DWM are going to be at 2.5 with a buy round. But they only lost once. Oh god, this is turning into that mess again. Because too many people are tying. This is why Swiss sucks! No, it doesn't suck. Okay, let's get through this. So I need to know if Electric wins. Inkar, Trog, Dr. Nerd, and Dwem deserve to go in. Because Dwem had a bye round, so I'll round that up. Because he didn't have a chance to get his third win. That's why I keep track of that. If Electric wins, he'll be in the same spot as Dwem. If Yakshaf wins, he'll be in the same spot as these guys. So Dwem's in. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Because he rounds up. So we have at least 4 people tied at 3 if you round up the bye round. Electric Spinach and Yashkov might join them. Okay, well we can at least get those players rolling so they don't have to keep waiting. If it's getting late for some of them. So... oh, this gets messy. Okay. So let's have Trog fight Dr. Nerd. Did he fight Dr. Nerd ever? Trogdar. No, he never fought Dr. Nerd. Okay, cool. Righty. Alright. So, we have some ties. Dr. Nerd fight Trogdar. Then Inkar fight Dwem. If Yashkov and Spinach win their games, they tie with y'all. I have a plan. So if Yashkov wins, he'll fight the winner of Incarns versus Dwembox, because he already had to fight Dr. Nerd twice, so I'm going to just not have him fight them. If Electric Spinach wins, he'll fight the winner of Dr. Nerd and Trogdar. If they lose to Z-Kind, if either of them loses, they just don't exist, and whoever wins these goes to the finals. So it's kind of like a weird... it's like this, right? So you have Inkar, and who the fuck did I just say? Dwem, Nerd, Trog, right? And then we have X, Y. So if, and then finals. If the players win, they'll slot in here. If they don't win, then this spot just doesn't exist, and whoever wins this battle just goes straight to the finals. Sound good? Math's all done. Who picks? Nerd and Inkar are top. Cool. Enough math shit y'all don't care about. Let's get on with the replays, eh? You're ignoring the Z? What did I ignore about the Z? Z-Kind? The most you can get is 2 points now. Incarns? Oh, yeah. It says TBD. You're done. The TBD is a buy round. It's a buy round, brother. You do not have enough stuff to... Oy. Why use Excel? The site does the same work as by itself with signups. Guillermo does not factor in buy rounds at all. How do you feel about the rework Zongors? I think they're significantly worse, personally. Sorry. I know I'm going back through chat now, Alaric, but yeah, I think they're worse. Alright, Widows versus Kislev. Dr. Nerd on Kislev. We have Glade Riders with Hagbane Tips fighting with Winged Lancers. They will lose that fight. Double Zote, Eternal Guard, and then a front line of Dryads moved up. Glade Guard with Hagbane Tips in the background. And who is the Lord for the Wood Elves? Ah, it's Sneaky Drycha running over here. For Dr. Nerd and the lads, we have Winged Lancers, Akshina Ambushers doing the ambush part of their name, a front line of Kislev Warriors, back line of Kossars, the Golden Knight yet again, Mother Ostankia with her overcasted Traitorkin spell, and then a Patriarch for some healing. Dr. Nerd really liking that Golden Knight. I personally think she is bad, but I have played all of 3 games with her in them, so not exactly a giant sample size. I know Nerd's actually been playing more than I have on this patch. How about show matches after these tournaments? Couldn't do it in the same night. Most people want to just go to bed. It's you, Spartan? Let me see. Drycha's summon is out, surrounding some of these Kislevite warriors and shutting them down, but the Golden Knight and Patriarch are chilling. The Kislevite frontline overall held, as these warriors did good work. And the Wood Elf flanks are doing okay. With Zotes paired up, these Winged Lancers are not having such a good time. They're taking out some Glade Riders for now, but it's pretty clear they had a run-in with the Zotes that they did not win. And they're about to have another one. Winged Lancers got some buffs, but they don't have, like, arm-piercing anti-large buffs. Does Drycha have all the spells? No, she has 2. She just has a whole bunch of little abilities because of who she is. So the Winged Lancers get destroyed by the Zotes. Meanwhile, the Zotes are also going to rout off the Kislevite Warriors, who still have... They don't have their Fire Bloods, so they rout off. Cool. Dryad summon, 20 seconds left on it, as Winged Lancers are going to get a rear charge here on these Dryads. That should rout them off pretty quickly. And Drycha is wandering around the wastes, hoping to find a home right now. Wood Elf's getting pushed off the backfield. We are getting down to just the Tube Zote show, which is not a show that often airs on television, because it's usually a massacre and not in the favor of the Zotes. We'll see what they can do this time. Do you guys have Bound Earthblood still? Still have 2 Bound Earthbloods apiece. Okay, there's some healing for them, I guess. Doing a lot of work in that sentence. How are the Beastmen doing this time with the changes and additions? Incarnate Elemental Beast was nerfed. Centaurs of Tzeentch are fine. Other than that, they were unchanged. So yeah, I think they're fine. Beastmen were strong before. They're strong now. They're not like OP, but they're solid. Mother of Stankia still trying to rout some Dryads. Melkoth specifying Miasma, slowing down the Winged Lancers and letting Drycha get up into the trees where she has a little bit better of a shot. Kossars are dealing with the Skirmish Cav doing quite well, and Zotes are just taking a beating as all of the Kislevite hybrid infantry continues to shoot and poke at them for anything they do. As someone who just bought the DLC, I like the Incarnate, but the fact that you can't take it with the Jabber Scythe is awkward. Yeah, it's a little awkward. We don't want too many more Ascension effects or everything's a drain and just becomes blob fights. Blob fights, baby! Zote's still trying to chase around these Winged Lancers, but they're too slow to catch up to them, and they are just going to take shots in the back while they do so. I think the Incarnate's still going to be good, Desire Drive. I think it goes from being ridiculously overpowered to being strong. Because it still has good animations, still has really good speed, is a Mortis engine, has a debuff, has solid dueling prowess even without its bonus for Slarge. It's still a solid unit, it's just much more reasonable now. You're missing the action? What am I missing the action? I'm watching the Zotes die. Oh yeah, Drycha existed. Turn around. I forgot Drycha existed. That's how little impact she had on that game. Golden Knight got 500 value. Mother of Stankia got 1,100. Man. What? It was just Drycha getting beat up in the woods by the Golden Knight. I don't know. You stopped it. You're all over the goddamn map. Alright, Spinach has finished their game versus Lowry. And they did win. Okay. So, you are in the post bracket then with ties. Fight the winner of Dr. Nerd and Trogdar. So Electric Spinach did prevail over Z-Kind. Nice job, Electric Spinach. Welcome to the post bracket. All right, so now we're in the post bracket. I'm not sure I get to cast every single game. Well, okay, post bracket I do, but I'll go through these in order if I find them interesting. So let's take a look around here. Ooh, Tzeentch! I'm very excited about that one. Ooh, more Tzeentch! Wait, is that the same? That's the same battle from two different perspectives. Okay, so I'll delete one of these so I don't have overlap. Other Kingdoms. Other Kingdoms. Same battle, different perspectives, so I'll delete one of them. Tzeentch High Elves. Wood Elves Brett. Tomb King's Ogres. Let's cast some Tzeentch. That sounds fun. I'm so excited. Tzeentch is actually my favorite faction out of the buffs they got. I think the Tzeentch stuff is very exciting. Electric Spinach on Tzeentch versus Nerd. Not Dr. Nerd. Other Nerd. Versus Nerd on his Bretonnia. Just sent you another Tzeentch one? Hell yeah. Alright, for Tzeentch, we have the Centaurs of Tzeentch. Their stat line is terrible. 22-22, but they get +5 as long as they have Primal Fury up. That's not really good, but strangely they perform much better than their stats would indicate. In all my testing and in my games. We have 2 Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch with Halberds, a frontline of Marauders. We have the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch with his Bound Spells book. And then Meeting of the Minds. Mutilith Vortex Beast, a Soul Grinder, and the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal with his Spawn Summon and Final Transmutation. The other side for Nerd, Knights of the Realm, Knights Errant, King Lewin, Royal Pegasus Knights, and then a bunch more Knights Errant. No Grail Knights yet tonight. And then a bunch of Men-at-Arms, Peasant Bowmen, and a Damsel, though the Peasant Bowmen do make a mistake and walk up with the front line, and they're now in the front line instead of sitting back to fire, so that is a bit of a problem. We are concerned about that. First Final Transmutation is out from Tzeentch, hits a whole bunch of infantry, just trying to poke them down a little bit, does hit the Damsel as well. Lewin and Knights Errant diving in on the Mutilith Vortex Beast, trying to get good damage onto it, while the other Knights Errant are going to rear charge some Marauders. Really good micro here from the Bretonnian player of Nerd Regular. Exalted Hero should beat up on these Knights of the Realm pretty easily. These Knights Errant are not having a good time versus the Mutilith Vortex Beast. Even without its bonus for Large, it's still very good. But here comes the counterattack of Tzeentch, rear charging from their own Centaurs. They should get some good damage out. And ooh, we do have some Knights Errant in the distance that are forgotten for now. But here come the Centaurs. Down the hill and into the archers. All of the angry cowmen go. Peasant Bowmen will be pushed off soon. The Tzeentchian front line is falling apart in the face of cavalry cycle charging it. And in the back line, Lewin and the boys have almost killed the Soul Grinder, but now the Mutilith is here. Still, with its very impressive weapon strength, good animations, and high melee attack, it can get good stuff done, even without that bonus versus Large. And the Knights of the Realm are losing to the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch. He is a halberd character that is more than happy to take this fight against random large knights. On the backfield, though, the Centaurs are almost killing off the Damsel of Life as I accidentally zoom underneath the ground to get countercharged by Knights Errant. Where's the second Centaur? He's in here. He's just having a way less good time than his other companion as more Knights Errant join the battle as well. For Tzeentch, what is not going well is the Soul Grinder is just about dead, and the Centaurs are going to start taking some serious damage as they're now fully surrounded. But what's going well for Tzeentch is the Damsel is sniped out and maybe going to die. We'll have to see. And a big Final Transmutation is going in the backline. Well, the Knights of the Realm and the Royal Pegasus Knights have also taken a lot of damage, so both sides trading a ton of value. Currently, Tzeentch is up, but I never count Lewin out. Also, the Mutilith is down to half HP and still taking damage, and he is mortal. If he routes, he's pretty easy to chase off. Meanwhile, the Royal Pegasus Knights take a fight with the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Tzeentch. Just get something done while they don't really want to land on the Mutilith for now, and Lewin is still trying to get that Soul Grinder to just crumble away and get out of his hair. Centaur is getting peeled off by the archers, trying to keep the Damsel safe. They both rout, which means she should be secured to come back and get Bretonnia their healing once again. Chaos Sorcerer Lord is beating up on the Royal Pegasus Knights, and some of them don't really know how to join this battle, and Lewin's coming in. Wait, Lewin's on his Pegasus? Lewin's not on his Hippogriff? What is this madness? Okay, I disapprove of that. But I hate Pegasus mounts. I'm famous for that. I'm always a doubter of Pegasus mounts, but I think they're low mass and they have a hard time dueling things. Alright, Damsel of Life has rallied. She needs to come back and cast some healing. Bretonnian Knights are still running about. Still have a lot of Knights Errant. For Tzeentch, Mutalith half HP, Soul Grinder almost dead, but a lot of ammunition left. Exalted Hero of Tzeentch is full health. His Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal is also full health. We do have one extremely healthy Halberd who's currently getting charged by some random Knights. For Bretonnia, it's Lewin and the boys, but they have a Damsel of Life. They just need to remember that she's back. She's back in the fight. No spells for Tzeentch? Yeah, this guy has Final Trance. He's one. Lewin and the lads gonna finish off the Soul Grinder for real this time, but another Final Transmutation hits them. The Royal Hippogriff Knights and Lewin not enjoying that whatsoever. He does not have his Spell Resist shield. He didn't bring that one. It is rather situational, so I can understand not bringing it as he tries. There we go. The Soul Grinder is finally dead. And the Spawn Summon isn't real. It can't hurt you. Damsel is going to use a Regrowth on herself to try and get her back up and healthy so she doesn't die as soon as anything looks at her. The Spawn Summon is running at her, but remember it's fake. It fades away in 5 seconds. She'll be okay. Soul Grinder is gone. Royal Pegasus Knights are off the map. I think she could have done with a couple just Earthbloods, but actually he might have been worried about her getting Final Transmutation. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I still might have just spammed Earthblood on her, but I get the fear. Lewin's going to take a duel with the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Tzeentch. Tzeentch is playing very far ahead on the bounce power now. They still have a full health Halberd, a full health Exalted Hero, full health Lord, and a half health Mutalith Vortex Beast. For Bretonnia, they just don't have a lot left. Lewin isn't quite the duelist he can be on Byakhee, as he is on his Pegasus here. You took the Pegasus with the shield in case he went missile heavy? I see. I see. Knights of the Realm should finish off the Centaurs in the backfield. But you don't have the DPS to kill the foot heroes. Is this other final? No, no finals have been cast yet. I'm still just casting some fun ones. Notice any shadow changes yet? No. You can see what's going on in the backfield while I deal with some tournament stuff. More Earthbloods. I will cast this at ×2 speed because we can kind of see what's going on at the same time. Never mind. Big engagement. Ooh, but a bigger Final Transmutation is going to hit these guys just as they get involved. Centaurs of Tzeentch surround the Damsel of Life, and they are getting really good damage onto her, so they're going to rout her for a second time. As Lewin and the boys do dodge out of the Final Transmutation, but it was undercast, not overcast. So, they dodged a little bit of the damage, but if it had been overcast, then that would have been crucial stuff they dodged. Damsel routs again. Centaurs are pushed away also again. And Lewin back in the fight over and over again with the Speed of the Vortex Beast. He's after it. And he is getting it nice and low. The Royal Pegasus Knights also commit to the fight, and they get a really good charge down. Bwags, how's it going? Actually pretty good. I was very scared for this stream that it would be lame as hell, but a lot of these replays have been bangers. Lewin and the Royal Hippogriff Knights now fighting the last against this Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal. The Damsel unfortunately just shatters herself in the distance. Even before the Centaurs get to her, she just gives up the ghost. And this is a last-ditch attempt from Bretonnia to snipe out the enemy Lord. Maybe if you kill him, the Mutalith's leadership actually gets low. Whoa. Whoa, there's actually a shot of winning this. Hold on. Because if they snipe out the Lord, the Mutalith routes, and then these Halberds aren't looking so good, and maybe Lewin can Cycle Charge deal with the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch. He does have his own self-healing. He doesn't need the Damsel for that. But the Royal Pegasus Knights are gone. Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal is fine. And Knights Errant dive in here. It looks like they're diving onto the Exalted Lord of, the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch, but not going to get a ton of value. Lewin finishes off the Mutalith, routes it away. And another Final Transmutation, but this time on the whole Bretonnian army. Pokes Lewin for a bit. He'll get outside the aura for now, but his peasants are taking so much damage it's going to be army losses. GG's, Steph. GG's. That was nice. For Spinach, Mutalith did great, 3,700. 1,500 on Soul Grind is also pretty fine. 1,000 goes up to Hero. 2,500 on the Final Transcaster. Centaurs, mixed value, but again, they did fine. And their stat line would make me think that they would do terribly, but they just do solid. Your game is cool, you will say? We'll get there, dude. We'll get there. You have had some pretty cool games already tonight. I'm agreeing. Okay, what was that? So I can delete it so we don't accidentally cast it again later. It was that one. And now we move on to an elimination game. So in the top 5/6, we're still waiting to hear how Yashkov and Lowry goes. But in the top 5 so far, Electric Spinach did prevail over Lowry, getting him into that tiebreaker for the top. So, Trogdor and Dr. Nerd fought. Whoever wins this is currently fighting Electric Spinach to get to the finals. Nice stream. Thanks, Igor. Any Scarbrand tonight? No Corn tonight. There's not nearly as much DLC action as I thought, but no Corn. For an elimination game, Kislev of Dr. Nerd versus Trogdar's Wood Elves. For the Wood Elves, we have a front line of 3 Treekin, 3 Dryads, some Wild Riders, Glade Riders, Wild Riders, Spellsinger of Life with Dwellers Below, and Earthblood. We do have a Glade Lord with their Helm of Discord up on their Dragon Mount, and then some Wild Riders and Glade Riders. Ooh, and a War Dancer in the very back, trying to stay safe until late game. The other side for Kislev, Kislevite Warrior front line, Kossar back line, bunch of archers. We have the Wolfhearts as well. Mother Ostankia with her Vengeance of Spirits super OP spell, and then some Curses and Gulyas for healing. Patriarch for his own healing, and then the Golden Knight yet again. Winged Lancers on the flanks. But they're taking a fight in the forest, and Wood Elves do have Woodsmen, so they get bonuses in the forest that the Winged Lancers do not. With the Dragon Lord and the Spellsinger of Life also helping out, these Winged Lancers are having a bad time, and they are pulling away. You try out Kislev Cav with the Tempest Witch with Swiftwing and Hailstorm. Dirt cheap, make Cavalry Dumpster Armored Cav even harder. It's interesting. Is Narski any good? I don't think so, but Dr. Nerd has been taking them a lot, and we are very early into the patch, so I do preface a lot of my opinions with I don't think so, but yeah. The front line for the Wood Elves is going very poorly as their Dryads are pushed away. Treekin are also taking a lot of damage dealing with these Halberds. Oof, the Kislev Halberds are so good. They're crushing it. Cavalry dive deep onto the Wolfhearts to take them out. We have gotten rid of some Winged Lancers, but Wild Rider's going to have to get involved even quicker over here. And we'll see what this dragon can do. You got any breath attacks left? Yeah, you have all 3. Use one on these armored, these Kossars are all just clumped up. Do it. But yeah, the Wood Elves got trash canned by Kislev. Look at them all routing. I don't really know what they could have done different. I wouldn't have taken Treekin at all, because Kislev has so much good shooting, and now they have 500 gold, super cheap, unbreakable halberds. Here's a breath attack onto the Wolfhearts, get some decent damage down. And there is that 12 Wind of Magic, big old damage spell. Did good damage with the Spellsinger. The one thing that is nice about it, compared to Traderkin, is that it doesn't follow you, it just is on the ground where it is. Blade Lord's pulling back, still trying to hold on to this game. We still have War Dancers and Dryads. War Dancers can clear out infinite Kossars and those little Kislevite warriors if they get the chance. Pack Trap is down. With Curse of the Ancient, 0 armor and no shields because of the missile block transfer reduction. That is really, really brutal, and a nice little tech piece here. I like that a lot. That's cool. Blade Lord's taking a lot of damage. Bounce power is tipping closer and closer to that army losses point where we'll just call it as War Dancers try and catch up. For Kislev, they still have 3 very healthy single entities with a lot of healing. And I think that's a lot of the bounce power here. I love high elf footcasters. I hope he covers that. Yeah, high elf footcasters are like nearly impossible to kill off. Alright. Dwemer box, I'm sorry, man. I know losing to Jank can be frustrating. Meanwhile, this is just cleanup for Dr. Nerd at this point. The Wood Elves are trying to get some Wild Riders back in on the Wolf Hearts and stuff, but there's not a whole lot left here. It's really the War Dances are their healthiest thing, and Mother of Saint can kill them in her own time, but the nice Spellcast and Archers pressure off the Glade Horde. So Trogdor will fall out. He got past the bracket stage though, and that's nothing to sniff at. Dr. Nerd advances to go fight Electric Spinach. They should be doing that roughly now-ish. You know, probably doing picks and bans and stuff. But ooh, the Wolf Heart's got really good value. And these Kossars, man, I forget who said it. Someone said it somewhere that Kossars were dead this patch, but they do not seem to be dead. Seem to be doing just fine. Another matchup is High Elves versus Ogre Kingdoms here. This is our other one. So this is Dwembox versus Incars to break some tiebreakers. The winner of this will either fight Yashkov or move straight on to the finals if Z-Kind does not... Wait. Yes, if Z-Kind beats Yashkov, then Yashkov's not tying everybody and didn't exist, quote-unquote. So then they wouldn't delay these people. How's the tourney been so far? Strangely good. Like I said, I was very pessimistic coming to the stream, but this has been really, really fun. You ever watch the replay I sent with the High Elfcast streaming completely invulnerable? You would be surprised how little it narrows it down. Okay. So for the High Elves versus the Ogre Kingdoms, we have a Silveren Guard front line, Lothern Sea Guard backing them up, 2 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, Phoenix Guard in the back, and then a Metal Caster with Plague of Rust and Final Transportation on the ground. The only mobility is the Heralds of the Wind, Delirium Reaver bows. Aside for the Ogre Kingdoms, we have 2 Crushers with Great Weapons, 2 Lead Belchers, 2 Saber-Chest Packs, 2 Ogre Bulls, another Ogre Bull with Iron Fist, the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw, who already has to Troll Guts himself because he's getting hit with the Bolt Throwers. And then we have a bunch of Noblars with Noblar Trappers in the front line, too. Do Kislev and Cathay need some serious nerfs? Yes. Yes, to different degrees. I think Kislev is stronger than Cathay, but both could use some serious toning down in several areas. Ogres are in, but without Noblar support, they are charging straight into spears and will suffer the damage accordingly. Archmage of Metal taking a bit of damage here, but the Crushers sneak into the back line, and that is going to be huge. Take down 1 Bolt Thrower, and they're moving on to the second one. And some of the Ogre Bulls are in the area. Noblar Trappers firing away. Can the Lead Belchers get into range? This is one thing, Ogre Kingdoms player, if you care, Lead Belchers are more of a shotgun unit than a sniper. You want to be about halfway up their range before they really start doing damage. It's just kind of like, a lot of their shots are going to go over these guys' heads. You can see them streaking in here, but they're not really doing too much just yet. I know it's hard to get in range of the Archers. I'm just telling you they're going to miss a lot. But, yeah. Crushers rampaging through the back line, routing off a lot of stuff. They are taking some damage in the meantime, but overall quite good. They're messing about in there, routing off some High Elves. Can the Ogres chase them down is a big question. We'll have to see as Saber-Tooth packs are running in. And the Heralds of the Wind try and stop the Crushers for a bit. But that's not a fight they can win, so they do have to back off. Saber-Tooth packs, wherever the Phoenix Guard are, they need to be careful not to rampage into those guys for now. Bounce power is about 50-50. I really think the Ogre Kingdoms are doing solid work. They've bunker busted the area. Now they can kind of pick off the other stuff at will. Final transient onto the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw. It is undercast. It's not overcast, so we won't die just yet. The Archmage gets a Dismember. Silveren Guard still getting attacked by Crushers, and Noblar Trappers having to fight some Spearmen. They are getting their little tricksy traps or whatever that slow passive they get. Leadbelcher's still firing away at something. I probably should have lost this in cars. Maybe. We'll see. Heralds of the Wind diving back onto the Leadbelchers. The Archmage of Metal is dealing with some crushers, though they will keep knocking her over. They are very bad at killing a Footcaster. Very, very bad. The High Elf Spears are holding on for now. We still have a full health Sovereign Guard, a full health Phoenix Guard. Everything else is quite wounded, but it is hanging on. As far as the Orc Kingdoms, there are no Spring Chickens either, as the Archmage of Metal is still surrounded by Crushers. But anyway. Ogres have 2 Leadbelchers with a lot of ammunition left to give. Noblars. And that's about it. Their second Crusher is just about dead. Ogre Bulls aren't feeling too good, neither is the Sabertooth Pack, and their Lord has also suffered a lot of damage. They are betting it all on this Lord Snipe. They've gotten 600 damage off her since we started watching, and now they're all standing around waiting for her to get back up. Then they charge her, knock her back down, and stand around waiting for her to get back up. They do get 300 more damage, and they're going to rout her. Never mind, she rallies. I feel like she was negative for 3 or 4 ticks there, but didn't go. Okay. Another final transmutation on the Slaughtermaster, as this lady refuses to rout, refuses to take damage. Gets poked here and there a little bit with the Noblars. The Crushers are taking a lot of damage. Leadbelcher's firing into the Phoenix Guard, though. That's going to be really, really good for those Leadbelchers and great for the Ogre Kingdoms overall in this game. Crusher's still trying to kill that High Elf caster. They can't quite get her. And they're now pushed away. They're going to rout off of those spears. Ogre Bulls chasing down some stuff, going to rout off things again. And I wonder how much of their army passive they're getting by chasing things, or if they aren't really able to get those. The second Crusher is trying to return to the fight. But we need if he has the tier 3 army ability for Butcher, that would be huge for some of these Crushers especially. Lob and Seeker are going to poke them down. In come the Crushers, into the Silvering Guard, but they're really trying to snipe out that Caster's down to 460 HP. Still hanging out in here, though. Ogre Bulls are going to shatter. Crushers, after getting a bit of charge damage, try and run away. The leadership dips, and they will rout. More Crushers diving onto more Spearmen. The Silvern Guard are charging Leadbelchers, though at a horrible cost of human life. I understand it. I don't say this is a wrong decision. It's just very funny to watch them charge into like these big guys holding cannons and get mulched for it. Archmage of Metal running around. And they seem to be having a really hard time killing her yet again. Down to 100 HP. $95. For the rest of the Ogres, they shattered that Silvering Guard with the point-blank Leadbelcher shots. Slaughtermaster is retreating. Sorry, I have a tournament thing I have to do. Sorry. Sorry. Alright. Had to do a very brief tournament thing, I'm sorry. Okay. Noblar Trappers showing up. They will be able to surround the Archmage of Metal and maybe kill her. As they do not. They're running around. They can't even have the excuse of like the Crushers where you're knocking stuff down. Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower is going to rout yet again. Lava and Seaguard supporting the caster. She runs around and she keeps getting knocked over. And meanwhile, the Leadbelchers got caught by Spearmen, which is pretty brutal. So that's a bit of a whoopsie from the Ogre Kingdoms. So they lost their Leadbelchers, which was a lot of their bunker busting potential. And how healthy are the Phoenix Guard? 2,400 HP on them. It's doable, but without the Leadbelchers, it's going to be tough. And the High Elves are rallying a whole bunch of spears. They're still shooting over here. And this lady at 1 HP... Is that real 1 HP or is she dead 1 HP? That's real 1 HP. That's real 1 HP! 1, baby! 1 HP! Let's go! As the Dopplers are just running around her! It's 1 hit point! It's 1! It's 1 hit point! It's 1! It's 1 hit point. It just says 1! It's lasting so long! And she's still alive! And 1 fucking hit point! She's chilling! The Nobblers can't kill her either, and she's finally fucking dead! Oh my god, it's over for the ogres at this point. Nice job killing the Lord, but like everything you have is so low. Oh, foot characters. The Crusher's route. The Slaughtermaster's gonna try his best. But he's no damage character. And he is just about heal capped. He throws his Troll Guts on himself, but it's too late. GG. That was insane. That was hilarious to cast, but that was been really frustrating to play. Lead Belchers did great. Crushers did overall pretty well. Ogre Bulls struggled a bit. Nobbler Trappers did very well. And that is GG. For Inkars, man, his Lord did amazing. Not value, but you don't need value to do amazing. Silver and Guard were pretty good overall. Phoenix Guard did well again. Heralds of the Wind and the Bolt Throwers did fine. Lob and Sea Guard mixed, but overall solid. And the Spearmen did just fine. Yashkov did not prevail over Lowry. We have not gotten to cast a lot of Lowry games. So I will cast one here, because I don't want to leave him in the dust here. I do like to give everybody a couple casts or something for them taking the time and playing in the tournament. So let's catch one of his games. Lowry. Might as well. We haven't seen any Beastmen tonight. We haven't seen any Dwarves either. Wait, Hummus, my game is done? I'll get to it, Dr. Nerd. I'll get to it. Yeah. Your finals opponent is ready, Dr. Nerd. Send me the replay. I'll get it. Don't worry. Alright. Beastmen, front line of Zongors, backed up by a whole bunch of Razorgors, Minotaurs, Torx the Brass Bull, Bracium of Shadows with Pit of Shades and Withering, and then Vorgablargablargablar. Chaos Warhounds in the bag. On the other side, for the Dwarves, we have 2 Bolt Throwers on the hills with some Dwarf Warriors, Dragonback Slayers, a front line of Midas with Blasting Charges and Longbeards, Bugman's Rangers, and Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedoes, with Thoric Ironbrow with Double Fame. Alright, sorry. People are asking tournament things. Damn you people with your tournament problems. Alright, the finals is starting now. I have another semi-final for us to cast after this one. But let's get on with this. I am done answering tournament questions. I believe I've explained what's going on at this point. Zongor is still trying to fight, though it looks like they kind of have weird attack orders, where some of them are attacking these miners and the rest haven't quite filtered in yet. The Minotaurs do have to charge soon. Razorgors are trying to get involved, and Torox is taking the fight to Thoric. Meanwhile, the Chaos Warhounds did sneak up in here. One gets caught on the Dragonback Slayers, but the other Chaos Warhound gets onto the Bolt Throwers, which is going to be huge value. Huge. Bargablar is in here. And the Varga Blarga Blarga, the effective charge can kill like infinite infantry with its time. Torox is still fighting the Thanes and doing very well of it, considering he's still at full HP. And the Bugman's Rangers are harassed by Razorgore herds. Overall, this is going quite well for the Beastmen. Their Zongor frontline has taken a lot of damage, but that's okay. You're used to that at this point. Bolt throwers on a map this small, I also don't think that is the best play, but yeah. Something's happening over here. It's a Withering Overcast, lowering the armor and leadership of these Longbeards and minus blasting charges. The Varga Blarga Blarga Blar and Shadows Caster are trying to disrupt the backline a little bit with some Minotaurs to help them out. Torox and the boys still fighting away, and Torox is doing well versus Thoric despite the fact that he's an enemy support with a Thane poking his shins too. And I want to see some Pit of Shades here and there. Dwarf Warriors did peel off the Razorgore herds. Bugman's Rangers held their own in that fight, but now they're under attack by a Chariot Caster. It's going to be a little brutal. Bounce power is slightly Beastman favored, and I do actually agree. They're only 450? I believe they're 550, but I take your point. The Varga Blarga Blar is moving on, trying to get away from the Dragonback Slayers, who are at half HP. And the Trollhammer Torpedoes should be pursuing her on the way out, firing away at her. Her crazy charge animations take her away from that damage. No issue, no harm, no foul. Torox is starting to take a bit of damage, and I want to see a Pit of Shade somewhere. Oh, there's one. Okay, we take that. That's 3 units all on top of each other. Yeah, it's a good Pit of Shades. Nice. Rune of Speed is popped. The Varga Blarga Blar and some Razorgore herds coming downhill to help Torox. He is starting to lose this fight, though. He does need assistance for sure. Good charge in from the Varga Blar, and now Thoric is all alone. Bounce power is still 50-50. Dog's going to run up on the Iron Drakes. I'm not sure if they do much damage here, because the Iron Drakes have really insane armor, but also very low HP, so I'm not sure which of those like prevails in that interaction. Longbeard's going to get charged by Razorgore herds, who do have really good charge bonus. They have strong stats on the charge. And Varga Blarga Blarga Blar is dueling with the Thane. I think the Thane will overall do better there in the duel, but she might do alright. Torox is really not enjoying being surrounded by these Longbeards, and he is losing this fight. He kind of needs to get away from here. And the Varga Blar is back. Dive through these fools. Zongors and Minos holding their ground. Minos have so far just been peeling a Thane the entire game. Chariot Caster routing off the Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedoes and distracting Bugman's Rangers for a little bit. Other dogs catching more Bugman's Rangers. But Torox is getting eaten. Dragonback Slayers are here too. And he's running. He's running away. Varga Blar really sucks at killing small single entities. Is great at cycle charging infantry to death, but she's struggling with that thing. The Shadows Caster, do you have another Pit of Shades for us right down here? That would be beautiful. Something's happening somewhere. It's the Withering onto Thoric, trying to get his armor and leadership down while the Minos try and finish him off. But Thoric's a tanky bitch. Very hard to kill. And the Varga Blarga Blarga Blar is struggling to get through here. Is going to maybe tear up that Thane. Oh, Thane's actually ITP, probably. Yeah, he's ITP right now. Varga Blar trying to get away where it can charge back in elsewhere. Torox is back, and the Shadows Caster continues to cycle charge Bugman's Rangers, getting good damage in the backfield. We need a Pit of Shades right here. I think that needs to be more important than the Withering for your Winds of Magic usage with this blob right there. Damn. Because, I mean, clearly he doesn't have it. If he had the Winds of Magic, he'd be over here doing that. 'Cause he's, you know, not an idiot. But the Withering is, like, it's a cool tech piece versus the Dwarves. I like the minus leadership. I like the minus armor. It's kind of cool. But Pit of Shades, like, the reason you don't often see debuff spells like that is just the value damage spells can get when an opportunity like this presents itself. It's so hard not to take that opportunity. The Varga Blar lining up for DMs. And I believe she is now stuck on a Bolt Thrower. Yeah, that's what stopped her charge there. She needs to lower their leadership just a little bit further to get that Mortis Engine type effect going, but it's hard to get their leadership down because they're all fresh vigor from standing next to Thoric. Here's a nice big Pit of Shades. These guys aren't as clumped up, but it still should be a good Pit of Shades overall. The Varga Blar is all of a sudden routing those. The Thanes take her to task. Looks like the Dragonback Slayers were also dealing with her. So yeah, the Vargablar gets deleted. And Thoric has popped a Brass Body once again as he tries to duel with these guys. Chariot Caster's going to go deal with Bugman's Rangers again, but there's still a lot of Longbeards. There's a lot of Slayers. And the Beastmen might not have the DPS to carry it out. There's too many armored bodies left. As Torox tries to join his friends, he's getting slowed by the Dragonback Slayers. Down to 38 speed. Ends up stopping to fight, but that'll be the death of him because he couldn't get away either way. Army losses hits. GG. Yeah, Torox and the Vargablar not being able to like hit or kill Thoric for the longest time was really, really brutal. Good game overall by Yashkov. Yeah, look at a spellcaster. Even with casting the Withering, still 1400 damage value from just effective Chariot Cycle charging and good Pit of Shades. Razorgore really disappointed him, unfortunately. I feel like he gave them every opportunity in the world to be good, and they still somehow fucked it up. Zongor's struggled. Mino's also struggled a little bit. For Lowry, Thoric did amazing. Dragonback Slayers 2100 value, which is awesome. Bugman's Rangers tried their best, got mostly shut down by the Chariot Caster. Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedoes also struggled. Bolt Throwers got shut down very quickly by that sneaky dog flank. And then Longbeards and Dwarf Warriors ground through it. And the Thanes paying for themselves twice over and 150% over. So that is it. All right, on to our semifinals. So, Inkar. I keep doing this to him. Poor guy. Inkars was waiting in finals. Now whoever wins this game right in front of us is going to go fight him in those finals. Let's find out who it is. How I normally do these streams, if it's not too late at night for me, which it's not too late right now, what we'll do is we'll cast this game in the finals for sure, and then I'll go back through the replays that were sent to me, and I'll look for any that strike my interest, like a really interesting build or something I haven't seen before, and we'll cast those, and then we'll call it a night. But once the tournament is officially done, I don't guarantee I cast every replay anymore. I just say I'll cast the ones that look interesting to me before going to bed. So, yeah. If it's stuff we've seen multiple times throughout the night or stuff that isn't particularly new, then I will skip it and just let people get going. But for the finalists that want to see their games and then get to bed, I'll cast that first. All right, for Tzeentch of Electric Spinach, we have 2 Centaurs of Tzeentch, 2 Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, Caster Lord of Tzeentch of Metal with Fountain Transmutation, Searing Doom, and then his Chaos Spawn Summon, Chaos Warriors and Marauders of Tzeentch with the Chromatic Abominations, and then Aecold Hellbrass. On the side, we have Kislev with a Vanguard Sneaky Akshan Ambusher, 3 Kossovite Dervishes, Patriarch, and then the Gold Lady herself, the Golden Knight. Mother of Stankia on the front line with her really good spells. We saw Dr. Nerd use Curse of the Ancient Winship very effectively. And then Kossars and the Wolfhearts. Again with the Halberd front line. Tzeentch has reached the front line, and the Kislev front line will hold longer, and I need to stop saying that word, but everybody's doing stuff with that, so. We'll see what the mobility advantage of Tzeentch comes to. They do have a way better mobile crew, and a really good Final Transmutation start. Hits 2 heroes right next to each other, that is beautiful, as Aecold tries to duel them. The Centaurs have gotten onto the Wolfhearts, and the Chaos Knights are streaming downhill. Kossovite Dervishes suicide to stop them for just a bit to keep these ranged units online. Kossars firing away into the Chromatic Abominations, who are already demonic instability crumbling. And Aecold's trying to get rid of these Kislevite warriors so that he can just duel the Golden Lady 1v1. Akshan Ambushers have revealed themselves in the distance, shooting at the Chaos Lord of Tzeentch. Not sure how effective that's going to be. I mean, they'll get some poke out, but I imagine if the Chaos Knights see them over there, they'll just run over and kill those guys. Aecold is getting murked by the Golden Knight with 95 melee attack because the Taurs battle him. That's pretty brutal. Quick little Searing Doom, going to do some good damage to these Kislevite warriors, pushing them around. And Dire Blood is popped from the Wolfhearts, who are almost entirely dead as the Centaurs of Tzeentch try and get away from here. Looks like they're actually just going to go fight Kossars and stuff. Vengeance of Spirits is cast. It does really, really good damage to Aecold. And he is pushed away super easily by Kislev. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch trying to carry the game, rolling through the Kossars now. Chaos Warriors still holding as they fight the Kislevite Warriors. And I wonder if we get a Chaos Spawn summon on top of Mother Ostankya, or if this is just a little bit of poke damage. On the far side, Chaos Knights still rolling through Kossars like nobody's business. They can still maybe cycle charge their way to victory here. The balance of powers we've seen many times today for Kislev is in these 3 single entities that are hanging out. And if we have some final transmutations on all 3 of those characters, that could bring Tzeentch back into this game. Chaos Knights are getting whittled down by the Kislevite Warriors, and some people told me that the Kislevite Warriors suck. I don't believe it. I think 500 gold halberds with unbreakable and solid stats are always going to be fucking crazy, but I guess I'm just an idiot. Guess I'm just an idiot. Another big final transmutation. Is it Overcast or Undercast? It was canceled by the Chaos Spawn summon. So Spawn are out. The Auction Ambushers that were flanking have finally joined the fight. They got all the way across the map in this time. The Chaos Spawn are here, going to go fight the Hero Core for a little bit. Chaos Knight's getting really low fighting those Kislevite Warrior Halberds. 1,000 value on them, too. Yeah, the Kislevite Warriors are great. Probably a little overtuned. Probably a little overtuned. Gossify Dervish is fighting with Centaurs of Tzeentch. Centaurs of Tzeentch should win. There's the big final transmutation. It's not Overcast, but it is a final trans. Silix, Lullaby, and Guliaz, and the Patriarch's passive, all healing up these guys constantly, just making it impossible for Tzeentch to do any real damage. Does throw out a Bolt of Change. It looks like it's aiming for the Auction Ambushers. Center of mass, beautiful damage there. But Tzeentch is too far behind in the balance of power. And they are going to lose, I think. Do you think Kislev is better now than when they had the AP Ambushers? Oh, they're for sure better now. They're for sure better now. Their cavalry's way better. Their front line is way better and cheaper. Their Hero Core is better. Their Amora's Magics are better. Yeah, they're just better. They're flat out better. Yeah. For Tzeentch, it's down to just this little Chaos guy. I know there's technically Centaurs, but they are so low that I don't even consider them. There they go, they routed off. Now it's officially just this guy who is pack-trapped. Soon his should get back up into the sky, even though he's netted, so that'll dodge some of the shots. But I don't see how he can win alone. I mean, the Golden Knight was literally just waiting for him to land, and then she's going to kill him. For Electric Spinach, really good damage value on his Lord. Aecold unfortunately did nothing. Chaos Knights and the Centaurs did what they could. Caused a lot of disruption, but the Kislevite front line just trash-canned your Chaos Warriors. It was rough. It was 500 gold halberds. People told me not to worry. I'm worrying. I'm worrying. Kislev has an amazing front line. Kossars did great yet again. Golden Knight, Mother Ostankya, Patriarch. Not a lot of value, but just a lot of presence. I mean, they killed Aecold super fast, and then we're hanging around the late game as bounce power stuff. So GG. Dr. Nerd advances to the finals. He's fighting Inkars right now. Let's take a look through these. So do any of these get the chopping block? Let's do that first. Katerin and Kislev versus Tomb Kings. Yeah, that's interesting enough. Ogre Kings versus Wood Elves. It's Dwembox versus Trogdar. I'll think on it. But I feel like Ogre Kings are just going to run shop over that one. Tzeentch versus High Elves. Interesting. A lot of new units. Gotta check it out. Gotta do it. More Tomb Kings and more Ogre Kingdoms. But it's Cetra and the boys. But it is Cetra and the boys. Damn, dude. They're all just fucking bangers. I'm not cutting any of these. We're casting all of them. They're all so damn good. Okay, we just cast Lowry a little bit ago, so we'll skip it. Let's do this one. This one was really cool. When did people start playing Zotes? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still against it. Like, it's cool. It's cool as a caster, but I don't actually think it's very good. Electric Spinach versus Blaubsaus. Tzeentch versus High Elves. Hummus? Did you finish your finals? Where is mine in Spartan's game? Dude, I don't know. I thought I already cast it. Yours in Spartan's game. No, I must not have saved that one. Though it looks like the same build you've been running all night and more Zotes, so I'm gonna skip that one because we have more Zotes to cast in other matchups too. So I'm getting enough of Zotes in that Kislev build. Yeah. I think I saved it, saw it, and like deleted it because it looked similar to other stuff, and we have like a whole bunch of games to get through. Anyway, where were we? Oh yes. Tzeentch and High Elves. If you're active in chat, did you finish your finals yet? Yeah. Finals finished? Cool. Send me the replay. Alright, back into this. So Tzeentch versus the High Elves. We have 2 Centaurs of Tzeentch. We have a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal with Fountain Transmutation and Searing Doom. Cockatrice with its new bound net. Exalted Hero of Tzeentch yet again with his bound Book of Secrets. I really am curious to see his Fate of Buna. I wish I had some way of knowing what spell was on deck for him. But I have no idea. On the other side, for the High Elves, we have a front line of White Lions of Krace for that extra armor piercing versus potential Chaos Warriors. 4 Archers, 2 Illyrian Reaver Archers, 2 Dragon Princes, Teclis with Regrowth, Flock of Doom, and Net, and then a 3rd Dragon Prince hiding in the woods. Hume Boy's a big nerd. Hi, Grace! Hope you're doing good, sweetie. Final Transmutation out onto Teclis to get the Pokey started nice and early, but a net onto the Chaos Knights mean the Dragon Princes can get a free charge onto them. Dragon Princes will do okay damage versus those guys. Yeah, they'll do okay. They're doing their best. Grace! Actually, yeah, Grace, that is a good point. You've rooted for Dr. Nerd forever, and he fucking did it. The lad. I mean, we haven't cast finals yet, so spoilers, but yeah. Anyway. Cockatrice is out trying to deal with Illyrian Reaver Archers. The Centaurs helping out. The Centaurs are going to have issues getting through the 45 melee defense of Dragon Princes. 27 melee attack versus that. It's going to be really, really rough. Teclis and the Archers are falling back for now. Dragon Prince is beating up on a Chaos Knight of Tzeentch over there. And the Cockatrice is just trying to be annoying. Chase those Archers around. Peck them to death. He is losing his shields, while Searing Doom tries to help out the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch getting through the front line. The White Lions are beating him up something fierce. He's not enjoying that. He's not enjoying that frontline fight at all. And the Archers are actually getting a lot of damage on the Cockatrice. Is that spawn real or a summon? It's real. Okay, that makes this a little better. I was going to say, Tzeentch is actually taking a lot of damage. A net is out onto the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, but is there a follow-up punishment? Yes. All of the Archers are turning at him right now. Dr. Nerd is in the finals? Yeah. Grace is my lovely fiance. She's in the other room. Chaos Sorcerer Lord on his teeny tiny little disc with his missile resistance, high armor, and shields. Just lost his shields. And should be able to get away from the net now. Dragon Princes beating up the Chaos Knights. Chaos Warriors, the Halberds, and Marauders still holding against the White Lions. But the White Lions are trading quite well here. They're doing great. I really like that pick versus Tzeentch. Spears will hold forever, but to actually kill Tzeentch, you're going to need the White Lions. Cockatrice now surrounded by Dragon Princes. Their high stats, plus the Archers occasionally poking away at this guy, will get him routing soon. Meanwhile, Centaurs of Tzeentch get a downhill charge. It looks like they eventually prevailed in their fight versus the other Dragon Princes who did get a regrowth for a little bit more healing. Centaurs get side charged by all these brave High Elves. And their low melee defense and low armor will not save them from this. They should be routing soon, but I feel like they're not taking as much damage as I would think they would. As the Dragon Princes kind of T-pose on them for a little bit. Need to hurry up and get that damage out. Teclis and the boys fighting back against the Chaos Knights, who are almost dead. And another Searing Doom hits somewhere. It deletes an Illyrian Reaver Archer. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, those weren't all Dragon Princes. One of those was an Illyrian Reaver Archer. That explains why I wasn't doing any damage. So the Dragon Princes couldn't get past their own skirmish cav. Got it. The Exalted Hero of Tzeentch is just about dead from fighting these White Lions. Some Spawn and Marauders might have to help bail him out a little bit. The Archers are still online. High Elves are pulling ahead on the balance of power, and Teclis is taking a fight with the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal. Back up in the skies he goes. And I have a finals replay to save. Thank you so much for sending it, my friend. I'll cast it next. Another Searing Doom. This one is gloriously cast on some Dragon Princes and Archers who are stacked up on each other. Really good damage there. This game is a banger. These guys are killing it. Chaos Warriors with Halberd still trying to fight it out, but they have full HP in the backfield. They literally have all 9,000 of their HP. Can they kill all the White Lions? Teclis is still fine, too. He has Flock of Doom? Yeah, he does. Flock of Doom spam in the late game could actually kill these Halberds. No problem. Really huge overcast of Flock of Doom. Hits 5 units. Oh, actually it hits 7, but I don't really count the single entities because it didn't really do any damage there. Can this Halberd and the Sorcerer Lord of Metal carry? Because everything else is too dead to matter. The Exalted Hero is also very, very low. For the High Elves, we have one healthy Dragon Prince. Teclis as well. Other than that, it is really inflating the balance of power because Teclis is healthy. He's not actually, like, that insane of a melee combatant. I actually think Tzeentch still has a shot. I would say High Elves are favored, but I think Tzeentch has a shot. Teclis piles into the Halberds, a mistake he is instantly regretting and does need to back off. He does have his Potion of Koroi for some self-healing, so he doesn't need to use regrowths on himself. What is that? That's the Spawn Summon. Oh, the Spawn Summon has been held to this point. That's right, there was a real Spawn that was running around. Alright, the Spawn Summon is in. Archers are routing. Dragon Princes are getting real low. Teclis is at half HP from his ill-advised duel with these Halberds. And then a big Overcast does so much damage to him. He throws down Potion of Koroi for some healing, which is great. And the 40% damage resistance, just to get hit with a Final Trans, will mitigate some of that damage coming in. But it wears off just as the Final Trans keeps going. And all of a sudden, the balance of power is much more even than it was a second ago. Dragon Princes locked in an eternal struggle, which they should not be. They need to be backing off and cycle charging a lot more. They can't stay in a fight, especially with Halberds and Chaos Spawn. Teclis is danger low. He's going to need to spam the Potion of Koroi on cooldown, but I really think he should try and avoid using a regrowth on himself unless a Bolt of Change gets cast. If a Bolt of Change is cast on him, then he should cast the regrowth on himself so that by the time he routes from the Bolt hitting him in the face, the healing will proc. Because if he doesn't, then he might actually route off the map, and then the High Elves lose this game. Here comes the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. We're going to need the Illyrian Reavers to try and peel for Teclis. Teclis jukes away from the first disc attack, but the second one comes in. He takes a little bit of damage. And he all of a sudden stops. He's at 1 leadership. There is a net to try and get him out of here. I wonder if the Archers try and punish him. That would be a waste of time. We've seen how little they do on his disc. The Spawn Summon took a lot of damage, but it is a summon. It should fade away very soon. There it is. It is gone. The Halberds are routing, and White Lions are chasing after them. That's pretty huge. The Hero of Tzeentch, close to dead. Chilling. And an ambitious Searing Doom on a target that was not in melee already. Don't love that. I would have either saved with the Winds of Magic for Final Trans onto Teclis, or just wait for something like this to happen. The Exalted Hero of Tzeentch is trying to fight back. He is a very, very impressive melee combatant. But surrounded by Dragon Princes, already almost dead, is not a good time for him. I will times 2 speed for a brief moment while this Exalted Lord Man of Tzeentch kills off some random stuff. And here come the Dragon Princes on the charge. Nice Searing Doom onto himself, so either the Dragon Princes cut off their own charge or they take the damage. It looks like they opt to take the damage. Really big cast there. And Teclis used a second use of his Potion of Koroi. He has 1 left, so I guess he's used 3 over the course of the game, but whatever, you get the point. Sword of Teclis is popped, more reserves, more spell mastery. But what comes of it? A regrowth onto himself as the Sorcerer Lord of Tzeentch barrels towards him. Gets a big shot onto Teclis. The regrowth is huge. You'll have to see it. You'll have to see the healing for that Lord to get the bounce of power back. But I have to say, Teclis is not a good combatant compared to the Sorcerer Lord. Another Searing Doom onto the Dragon Princes. If the High Elves fail to avoid it, that could be GG in the favor of Tzeentch. Because without the Dragon Princes, he can actually kill everything else without much hassle. They're not going to dodge it. Oh, they're not going to dodge it. Oh, they dodge it, but just a little late. One of the Dragon Princes is going to route. The other one's very low, but not routing just yet. The White Lions have caught up to the Disc Caster. He has no barriers stacked up. There's nothing to protect himself. He takes about 300 HP on the charge from the Dragon Princes, plus fighting the White Lions. Balance power shifts against him. It is actually army losses. The White Lions carried it out in a very, very, very close game between Electric Spinach and Blob Sauce. Good win by Blob Sauce. 3,300 value on the Caster Lord. Exalted Hero of Tzeentch only got 600. Cockatrice struggled a lot. Chaos Knights did okay. Centaurs did pretty darn well. And Halberds also did good. For Blob Sauce, Teclis was a cool little support lord. Good for him. Dragon Princes and the White Lions put the game on their backs, though. Lunar Reaver Archers and Basic Archers did good work. GG. We have finals. We have finals to get to. All right, who wins the whole tournament? Is it Inkars or Dr. Nerd? Dr. Nerd switching up his build, taking something he hasn't taken all tournament. Still Cathay, but different Cathay. Triple Fire Raid Rocket and Yambo. Let's fucking go. Inkars and the High Elves moving up. Front line of Spearmen and White Lions of Krace mixed throughout. Have some Lothern Seaguard, and then some triple Silverhelms with shields, an Archmage of Life with Dwellers Below and Earthblood, and then 2 War Lions of Krace. For Dr. Nerd and Cathay, it's triple Firing Rocket, a bunch of Jade Warrior crossbows with shields, Jade Warriors and Peasant Spears across the front line, Peasant Horsemen in the back, and Yanbo the Jade Dragon with Shen's Burning Gaze, Net of Amratok, and then the Emperor's Executioner for himself. Firing Rockets raining hell upon the High Elf lines, getting good damage out this early on. As the Silverhelms try and sneak through the front here to suicide dive onto the Firing Rockets and shut down these extremely expensive pieces. Peasant Horsemen are going to run up and try and peel for these guys. Just in time, they get ahead of the Firing Rockets. The Firing Rockets have already taken out, it looks like a Lothern Seaguard, a White Lion, and half HP off of this Spearman and another Archer. The Archers are in range now. The Archers can start counter-firing with the Firing Rockets. To be fair, there's only one Archer in the whole army, so if the Fire Rains realize that, they can kill it off in a couple volleys here, and it looks like he is. Yeah, he just deletes those Archers off the face of the earth. Silverhelms are already routing. There they go. The War Lions are in. They're getting to fight the Jade Warrior crossbows a little bit. Firing Rockets doing their best. High Elves are very far behind in the bounce power, though that is usually how these games are going to start. We'll see what they can do now that they're actually in melee. It doesn't look like a whole lot. Shim's Burning Gaze point blank range does damage to the little Archmage of Life. The High Elves are getting destroyed by the Firing Rockets. They're not getting through the front line of the enemy either. Has the Emperor's Executioner been used? Doesn't look like it, as he's netted this lady right in front of him. He still has the Executioner ability that he could delete her right about now. Should be coming in. Alright, now the little token's over her head. And she's dead. High Elves are without a Lord, without magic. Most of their army is routing. What they did get done is they got into the backfield. The Firing Rockets are under stress. They're starting to run away. Some of the Archers have taken some damage, and they got rid of some of the Peasant Horsemen. But the front line for Cathay is still standing. Yanbo is literally full HP. And they're feeling good. Firing Rockets doing what they can to get rid of some of these guys and just trigger that army losses, but my idea was too much stuff to shoot. I see. But getting through the front line of Cathay is very hard if you're going to do it in melee. People are routing. Silverhelms chasing off some of the Firing Rockets, and these War Lions are eating good. Eating good in the neighborhood against these Jade Warrior crossbows. That's all going fine, but it is a desperate struggle on top of an already lost game, I'm afraid. All 3 Fire Rains are offline, and still the bounce power is that bad, and I definitely agree with it. Full health Spearmen over here. 2 War Lions that have some okay HP. Just got here. Have we seen much they tank today? We saw him twice at the start, and both games he kind of like... He missed a lot and was weirdly janked, despite how good he normally is in games. But in one game, even with a crazy amount of jank, he still got 3,500 value, which is really funny. Alright. Warlines of Christ continue to eat up some Jade Warrior crossbows. Another Shem's Burning Gaze down the line from Yenbo. Actually gets decent damage up. Good for you, Yenbo. Don't see a lot of him. Man, the Warlines just don't give up. I feel a little bad for these Jade Warrior crossbows that have been getting eaten by Warlines for like an hour. Peasant Horsemen rear charge them. That won't matter to the Lions. They don't care about that at all. While we lose some archers permanently to the forces of Shattering. Jade Warriors still trying to fight back against Hive Spearmen, but 50 melee defense is quite a lot to get through. And Yenbo didn't bring any Comet spells or anything to help clear out infantry even faster. The balance power has been awful for the Hiles for quite a while. And they stabilized the bleeding, but they stabilized it at nearly comatose. My plan was, as you said, suicide the Silverhounds, but didn't work as well as I'd hoped. Yeah. You're coming back in the late game. It was just your Lord getting instantly deleted by Yenbo running out there and beating her up with net and stuff was pretty brutal. Because if you still had a Lord right now, you could be spamming heal, and you are, like, cleaning up the battlefield pretty well. You took out most of the enemy range. The enemy cavalry is all in disarray. Their Jade Warriors aren't doing too well either. The balance of power is as bad as because there's a 3,000-ish gold Lord running around at full HP, and you have nothing left. So if you took Yenbo out, this would be an insanely close game, but he's right there. He's fine. So, yeah, I think your Lord getting sniped was really brutal. Your Cav play and your Warline play in the late game has been really, really good. This should be army losses. If this rear charge on the Spearmen breaks them, that'll be the straw that broke the camel's back here. 17 leadership on the Spearmen, 17 leadership away from army losses. They get netted. 7 leadership. Still hanging on. Dude, I guarantee you, though, if these guys rout, it's over. I know how Warhammer thinks. I'm in its head. 2 leadership away from loss. They're hanging on for now. War Lions and White Lions chasing stuff off. You there. You know you want to rout. You know you want to prove me right. Do it. You need to rout before army losses go so I can be right about things. 6 leadership, you fucks. Just go. High Elves are trying to rally in the distance. These little Jade Warrior crossbows are still poking away at the Spearmen every 50 seconds or so. They're doing kind of a pathetic amount of damage. And they're not even going to keep shooting at these guys. Just to prove me wrong. Just to be assholes. They'll go shoot at something else. Yenbo's coming back. Can he break them on the charge? Nope. He's shooting at a line. Yenbo, break the Spearman. End the game. There's the charge in. Negative leadership. And they rally. God damn it! I just want to be right. That's all I want out of life. And army losses anyway, because those Spearmen never fucking broke. Well, good attempt from Inkars. His War Lions got such good value. 1,900 and 1,400. 1,300 for one of the Silverhelms. The other 2 Silverhelms mostly just had to die for the great plan. White Lions of Christ did eh. They got mostly shut down. Spearmen did eh. Archers on Seaguard got wrecked. For Dr. Dirt, his Fire Rain and Yenbo build proved very much up to the task. Yenbo got 1,800 values, Fire and Rockets all around 900-ish. Jade Warrior Crossbows did okay. Jade Warriors and Peasant Long Spears did alright. And Peasant Horsemen, ooh, all of them paid for themselves. One of them paid for themselves twice over. Very nice, and that is a hard-earned W from Dr. Nerd. He has been trying at these new play tournaments for quite a while, so I'm sure he is super duper happy to have finally won one. GG's, brother. GG's. I removed his Rat Ogre roll and added Bone Ripper. Okie dokie. That's it for the tournament part of the tournament. Now we're just going to cast some games that looked fun and interesting from here. But this will be a little bit more casual as I go through them. Yeah. Sound good? So yes, but Dr. Nerd is the winner of the night. These are just some cool replays that we missed along the way. Let's do some Kislev and Tomb Kings, huh? Yashkov versus Blaubshaus. Yashkov still rolling with the double Snow Leopard, man. But I just got here a few minutes ago, supposed to end the stream now. Yeah, why are you always on... You're always on Radiant Ash's stream. You're not always on mine. What the hell? Alright, for Kislev, we have double Snow Leopard again. Tsarina Katerin, this time on her bear, with just Ice Maiden's Kiss and then her Leopard Summon. Griffin Legion, Warbear Riders, Patriarch for his healing. And then in the woods, we have Kossars, Streltsy, Kossars, Kislevite Warriors, Zargard with great weapons, and then some things in the woods, literally in the woods. For the Tomb Kings, Skeleton Horsemen, 2 Sepulchral Stalkers. We have 2 melee Ushabti, 2 Ushabti Great Bows, one of which is the Chosen of the Gods, Ark of the Black with Fate of Buna and Spirit Legion, then is summoned, King to catch Scorpion Legion, and then a bunch of Skeleton Warriors and Spearmen. In the interest of time, as these guys set up, I'm going to ×2 speed until the rest of the Kislevite army catches up to the kiting Tomb Kings here. Tsarina trying to get around a little bit, but the Sepulchral Stalkers are shooting at her. And they're trying to line up a shot. Don't tell me you're obstructed, because you can definitely see that bear standing heads and shoulders above the skeletons, but I guess not. They didn't fire, now the Warbear Riders are on top of them. Meanwhile, the Ushabti Great Bows and the ROR all firing in here with an Overcasted Spirit Leech onto Tsarina. It's going to feel pretty rough. By the way, Spirit Leech, Overcast doesn't do any more damage, just increases the range at which you can cast it, just an FYI. I am jealous, Meow Meow. I want you all to myself. Skeleton Warrior Summon in the back is here, while Sepulchral Stalkers try and get away. Things in the woods, pushing into the backfield as well, and the Snow Leopard is already distracting some Skeleton Horsemen for a bit, but I think the Kislevites are about to eat good in the neighborhood. Is that Applebee's? Who the fuck's thing is that that's in my head? I think it's Applebee's. Anyway, the Snow Leopards are going to snipe out Arkin a little bit, and the things in the woods are destroying the Sepulchral Stalkers with some Warbear Riders. Oh, they're sandwiched in. That's real bad. Griffin Legion also helping to deal with Arkin. And the engagement so far has gone great for the forces of Kislev. Snow Leopard now getting attacked in the back by King to catch Scorpion Legion, and in the front by Sepulchral Stalkers. But as long as the Sepulchral Stalkers are too busy to shoot at the Warbears and the Griffin Legion, then this little Snow Leopard is doing his job. Warbears once again catch Arkin. They're going to surround him and beat him up. Big damage coming through. And he's even starting to crumble already. If they lose Arkin this early on, that'll be a real blow to the Tomb Kings. One of the Snow Leopards is routing, the other one's at half HP. But the Warbear Riders seem to be chilling for now. Griffin Legion getting a little bit low. They could still get healing if the Patriarch ever finds a way to catch up with them, but he's currently on the front line with Kislevite Warriors and Tsarina. Little Snow Leopard that could in the back fighting against Ushabti. He's just so outnumbered. Poor little guy. And Arkin did survive, which is huge. It's gigantic. Oh, okay, that's a summon. Alright. Snow Leopard summon is gone. Did a little bit of damage to Chosen Gods, mostly just distracted for a bit as these Ushabti Great Bows. I don't know what they're firing at. I don't see an attack order from them, so I think they're kind of just at fire at will. There's a lot of good targets in front of them as long as they shoot at something, but for now they're just kind of T-posing like fools. I think because whatever they're aiming at is occasionally obstructed somehow, some way. Griffin Legion very low. Warbear Riders very low. It'd be a shame if the Chosen of the Gods and the other Ushabti actually felt like firing. There's a good little shot, but some of it goes way up in the air for literally no reason. And Frostfang from the Tsarina is going to delete ourselves Skeleton Spearman. Bop. Good damage. Warbear Riders are on the backfield. Nothing is here to peel them off just yet. Sporkle Stalkers will need to be committed over here to save the Chosen of the Gods and the other Ushabti from these Warbear Riders. The Leopard that could is still fighting against the Ushabti, which I appreciate. Kislev is getting through the front line slowly but surely. Zargard with great weapons going to kill off some skeletons here. The Tsarina is nice and low. So I don't know what the Ushabti are shooting at, but they need to shoot something. I think they need manual attack orders, because I believe they just have fire at will on, and that's not really helping too much. And now they're shooting at a clump of Zargard, which that would be a good target for the Chosen of the Gods, but for these guys is not going to do anything. The single shot Ushabti do like nothing to infantry. Sepulchral Stalkers trying to kill things in the woods, along with King Cast Scorpion Legion and the Ushabti. But more attention needs to be paid for the Chosen of the Gods. Like, these Sepulchral Stalkers and these Ushabti Great Bows need to be shooting the Warbear Riders, and they're just not, and that's kind of costing the Tomb Kings the game here a little bit. Streltsy are here. I don't know if they've been doing anything all game. It looks like they apparently have been. As another Spirit Leech pushes down Tsarina's HP down to 700. It's climbing back up a little bit because the Patriarch still. Skeleton Horsemen in the backfield. They can't beat the Streltsy or the Kossars and Spears in melee combats. They're a little shit out of luck. As the Warbear Riders take out the Chosen of the Gods. The Snow Leopard that could is still fighting in the backfield, by the way. He's almost paid for himself. That's the first time a Snow Leopard can say that. And the Warbears are going for the last Ushabti Great Bow. It's full health, a lot of ammunition. That is most of the balance of power on the side of the Tomb Kings, and it's going to get rolled by the Bears pretty quickly. Sporkle Stalkers and Arkan rolling up into the fight, trying to help out. A nice Spirit Leech Sporkle Stalker shot combo should finish Tsarina. 200 HP with 8 ticks left on the Spirit Leech, that's fine. And then that could get the Bears to rout, which could peel for the Ushabtis. Yeah, okay. Snow Leopard also routs things in the woods, route away from the Ushabtis. Can Arkan hold on? The Patriarch throws out Silix Lullaby to heal up these Halberds and Zargard a ton. That will be a problem. The Sporkle Stalkers trying to fight, peel back. But there's still a lot of Streltsy and Kossars regular back here, and the Kossars are fighting up and over to poke down Arkan even more and get us closer to that army losses point as more Tomb Kings crumble away into nothingness. Yeah, I think they're too far behind at this point. Because the Streltsy are going to be super powerful. They can outrange the Sporkle Stalkers. The Warbears are back. Kislevites Halberds hang out next to Arkan. Don't get any damage on them just yet. And then they do rout. The Skeleton Warrior Summon's going to fade away. King Cast Scorpion Legion still crumbling. The Ushabti are firing into the clump of boys, but there's a full health Zargard there. Really good Sporkle Stalker volley onto the Patriarch. Another Spirit Leech. It is Overcast as well, and Arkan takes Overcast damage. Ooh. That one, though, I understand he didn't want to get close to the Patriarch because the Streltsy would shoot at him. That one, that makes sense. The earlier Overcast was a little suspect, but that one was fine. But a good volley from the Streltsy onto the Sporkle Stalkers, and this army losses takes hold. Kislev will prevail. In a very, very close game, actually. The Tomb Kings could have won that. Not at the end, but, like, in general. Tsarina Katarina only 500 value, but the Warbears 2,800. Griffin Legion 1,200. Patriarch did okay. 200 kills on the Zargard. They didn't get a lot of value, but they were still like full health at the end of the game, so you know they were there. They could keep helping. Snow Leopards mixed value. Halberds did fine. Kossars did okay. Streltsy did great. The other side for Blaubsaus. Arkan did amazing. Chosen the Gods didn't do very well. Regular Ushabti did fine. Sporkle Stalkers mixed overall. Skeleton Horsemen did okay, I guess. Skeleton Spears mixed. GG there. GG Tomb Kings. Let's get the fast ones done. There's 2 Wood Elf ones in here that are going to be really fast. Whether you like it or not. Watch as I say that, and they're going to be insanely long games. We have Dwembox and Trogdor, the Flagellant. Oh, both these guys have Vanguard potential. I was thinking of going to go grab a drink. Well, I'm going to switch my desk to standing position because my back hurts from sitting. All right. Worst Professor joined us in time to see another Kislev victory screen. Yeah, Kislev have been winning a lot tonight. I will say the games have been good, but yes, they have been winning a lot. Okie dokie. What else for Silver Kingdoms? For Silver Kingdoms, we do have a Hunter on a Stonehorn with his Noblar Thief Stone. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Cool. Aside from that, we have Ogre Bulls, Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw with Troll Guts, 2 Lead Belchers, more Ogre Bulls, and then Noblar Trappers and Noblars in the front line with 4 Saber-Tusk packs in the woods. Thanks for getting the turn in your favor. Hell yeah, Dr. Nerd. Good games tonight, dude. Good games tonight. They actually were really good games. You played quite solid, my friend. GG's. Alright, for the Wood Elves, we have 3 Eternal Guard of Shields. Wildwood Rangers, ROR, the Warden of Sithrill, double Zote again. Triple Deepwood Scout, 2 Glade Riders of Spears, a Glade Lord with the Pravenoth Rama on his Stag, and then a Beastcaster with Flock of Doom, Listens Wild Form, and the Manticore Summon. Here comes the Hunter to charge through your archers. There he goes, he's stopped by Glade Riders. Okay, I wonder if Pravenoth Rama is worth it onto the Hunter and then just shoot him with all the Deepwood Scouts, but already Noblars are apparently routing these guys, not routing, but chasing these guys down. Here come the Saber-Tusk packs over the top. Glade Riders did punch through the Noblar front line, but Ogre Bulls are countercharging, and Lead Belchers feel free to shoot in. This matchup usually feels really bad for the Wood Elves, and I'm kind of seeing why. Like, they're just not really winning anywhere. Deepwood Scouts with Pravenoth Rama are going to try and pincushion the Hunter, but a Troll Guts heals him up just as it comes in, and the Zotes are trying to stop him, but they're not really going to get too much done here. Manticore Summon is out for the Wood Elves. I wonder where they decide to put it. Deepwood Scouts, even with the Troll Guts, are still getting good damage onto the Hunter. Again, paired with the Zotes. Lead Belchers have been peeled for successfully, though any of the Wood Elves that tried to get back here have been pushed away. So they're doing fine. The Ogres are getting through to that back line. Saber-Tusk packs will be with us shortly. The Hunter is already here, shutting down the Deepwood Scouts. What can the Zotes do? Nothing. But what can the Zotes do? Still nothing. Fucking nothing, dude. Hunter is thinking about routing, even though he's above half HP. Classic low leadership things. And Saber-Tusk packs getting in a fight on the backfield. This Elven Caster is on a horse, which makes her much more vulnerable to melee attacks than ones on foot. But Scouts. All 3 of them are in dire straits. Somehow the balance of power is roughly even, and I am confused. Oh yeah, there's no Manticore Summon. It's a Great Eagle. I always forget that for some reason the good guy Beastcasters just get worse versions of things. Whatever. Deepwood Scouts running away. Zote's still trying to peel. Fighting with Ogre Bulls up here. And they don't seem to be doing that well because Noblar Trappers are hitting him in the back. And I wonder if Lead Belchers are going to shoot them too. Yeah, Lead Belchers shooting way over the battlefield. But Zotes are tall enough. Some of those cannonballs might hit these guys. Yeah, they're getting a couple shots in. Glade Lord is trying to bail out the Spellsinger of Beasts, but the Saber-Tusk packs are not to be denied. Without their infinite rampage, they do still have rampage, but without infinite rampage, now their high weapon strength can actually be brought to the fore, and the Wood Elves surrender. Durthru summons a Manticore. He does. He does. Lead Belchers didn't have too much to do, but they were there in case of a really hard, like, box or something. They're always good to bring. Noblar Trappers did fine. Saber-Tusk packs doing much better now that they don't infinitely rampage. The Hunter was okay. For Trogdar, Lord and Hero struggled a lot. Zote struggled a lot. Deepwood Scouts also struggled quite a bit. Overall, the Wood Elves just did not get a lot of value that game. GG. You believe VC Beastcaster summoned a Vargulf? That is silly. You're full of silliness. Now, Trogdar was in finals, right? So he had to have at least won 2.5. Yeah, to get to finals, he would have had to win 3 games. Or he would have had to have a bye round. So that means he's somehow going to beat this Bretonnian build. With 3 War Dancers, 2 Zotes, one of which is the ROR, he's going to beat Bretonnia. That's not a thing. He can't do that. That's illegal. So, like, the Eagle is super cheap. I think the Eagle is the same amount as the Manticore, though. Okie dokie. What do we got here? We have the Wardens of Sithril again, 2 Eternal Guard, 3 War Dancers, and then the Enigmas of Gairon, Zotes who have the Bound, Regrowth, and Flesh to Stone. Other Zotes who have the regular Flesh to Stone and Earthblood. A Glade Lord with Helm of Discord. A Glade Captain also on the Stag Mount. And then for a caster, Shadows caster, Pit of Shades, Melkoths, and Feebling Foe. On the other side for Bretonnia, a bunch of men-at-arms, some archers who are ending up too close to the melee yet again. I must criticize that, but we'll see. Overall, they need to just be stopping earlier and shooting. And then a bunch of Knights of the Realm, Knights Errant, Royal Pegasus Knights, and Lewin once again on his Pegasus. The Knights are flying into the backfield, and if the War Dancers are going to take a charge from the Knights, they will suffer a lot of damage from it, but it looks like some of the wires are getting crossed. Here we go, that's going to be a good charge. Didn't do as much damage as I would have thought. And what is this? Helm of Discord is down onto the Bretonnians with some sundered armor and removes magical attacks to dampen. Yes, the Zotes should be doing alright. Big Pit of Shades in from the Wood Elves as well, catching up some archers and War Dancers. The War Dancers are sacrificed to the Dark Gods, but the Knights Errant will be taken with them. Can the Zotes defeat Bretonnia in here? It looks like so far it's going their way. Stand Your Ground and Scroll of Shielding helping out the Royal Pegasus Knights, but they're still out of here. They want nothing to do with this. Lewin is still fighting. The Enigmas are taking a lot of damage from these Knights of the Realm cycle charging in. We need the Royal Pegasus Knights probably to rear charge back onto those guys. War Dancers in general, not feeling too good. 2 of them are just about dead. 1 of them is routing. And the other one's at about half HP. Lewin, not on Byakhee. He's not nearly the duelist he is otherwise. That big old Hippogriff type mount is really good for him. Enfeebling Foe, lowering his stats. He's trying to get out of here. He's trying to get back in this guy. He is very fast on Pegasus. I'll give him that. The Royal Pegasus Knights trying to find a home. Trying to find a place. Something to do. Enigmas use regrowth on themselves. With all the healing they've gotten, their heal cap is actually within sight already. Just remember the fact they don't have a healing caster. It's all the bound spells of the Zotes. That's pretty good. Knights Errant and Knights of the Realm trying to charge back in and cycle charge things to death. 2 War Dancers are out of the fight. The 3rd one is still here. And the Glade Captain is after the Damsel of Life, knocking her all over the place. Royal Pegasus Knights trying to land in with Lewin as well. Lewin way overshoots the mark and has to turn around after the fact, but we are here. And the Glade Captain with 60 armor should be taken down by the Royal Pegasus Knights. But a Flesh to Stone gives him 60% physical resistance. And then the Dampen, removing the magical attacks of the Pegasus Knights so they can't get through the physical resist anymore. Now Lewin's taking supreme damage. Enfeebling Foe plus Helm of Discord brings him down to 2 melee defense and 12 melee attack. And the Royal Pegasus Knights are going to peel back once again. Archer's trying to help out a little bit, but Lewin is taking big damage. Damsel of Life is doing just fine. Stand Your Ground is popped. And Lewin gets ridden away by the Glade Captain, who's escorting the king away from the frontline fight, and then stabs him in the back. Now the Zotes are taking damage, right? This one's almost dead. The other one's not feeling too great either, as Royal Pegasus Knights and Knights Errant dive in onto him as they were just trying to kill off some archers. This could be a big comeback moment for Bretonnia. If Lewin can get in the sky and slowly heal up, and if they can slow this game down, they should be able to outlast the Wood Elves with their healing. Because the Wood Elves' healing is just to the Bound Zote healing. Yeah. Again, no magical attacks for the Royal Pegasus Knights, so the Zotes all of a sudden Flesh to Stone, giving them 60 physical resistance is quite potent. And Lewin dives in with some Spearmen at Arms over here to take care of these Zotes. Balance power shifts in the favor of the Wood Elves further. And Toyevich, that's fair, dude. Royal Pegasus Knights rout off the Zotes. The Enigmas rejoin, though. And I assume we'll have a Helm of Discord up rather soon, though maybe with Lewin and the boys disengaging, he's going to save the Helm of Discord for when they re-engage back with him. Other Knights Errant in the distance. Might need to rear charge this area, but they're rear charging other areas, so they're busy. They're doing good work. I feel like the Bretonnian player is really, really good. I feel like his reliance on Pegasus Lewin and the Royal Pegasus Knights is costing him some of these games, because like I feel like he's playing his ass off with a less than optimal build. Because he's not making a lot of mistakes. His micro is really good. Really, really good for a new player tournament. Like, his micro's about as good as mine, and I'm not a new player. Okay. So I feel like if he had just had more meta or stronger builds, he'd be demolishing this. Now maybe he just likes playing the way he plays, but in case he's out there and like, you know, wants my opinion, I feel like if he went with some more meta stuff, he might be a little better off. Like Lewin on Byakhee, Royal Hippogriff Knights instead of Royal Pegasus Knights, and then just take less men-at-arms to pay for that difference. He's kind of going nuts. With it. Wardens of Sithril, gonna hit Lewin, and I imagine here comes a Helm of Discord any second now to make Lewin vulnerable once again. Royal Pegasus Knights are gonna chase off the Enigmas. Stand your ground is out from Lewin, countered by a Helm of Discord. There it is. His Knights Errant try and help him out. Archer's gonna fire at point blank range into the Spellsinger of Shadows, but Lewin cannot stand up to the Glade Captain and the Glade Lord. Tony's not out of this yet, as they're trying to rear charge something, get something going somewhere. And once the Helm of Discord wears off, actually, Lewin and the Royal Pegasus Knights could get some decent damage down on the Glade Lord. Archer's still trying to figure out what to do. Here they go for the snipe attempt, but a Melkoth's countered by an Earthblood should keep the Pegasus from taking too much damage. Enfeebling foes cast onto Lewin, but he gets a big shot onto the Glade Lord towards the end here. Glade Lord's taking a lot of damage, just trying to get away. Royal Hippogriff Knights and Lewin not going to let him go just yet, but the Glade Captain's here to bail him out. And meanwhile, the Wardens of Sithril are slowly winning the infantry fight versus random peasants, which I would hope an elite ROR of the Wood Elves could beat filthy peasants. Not shocked by that fact. Damsel's thinking about routing. Lewin and the boys need to find a way back home as the peasant archers get rid of some people that were trying to come back to the fight before the Wardens of Sithril recharge them and take them out. Now the damsel is a little helpless. She gets one last Earthblood off onto Lewin and the boys before she gets taken out. And now how much can they do with the Spearmen at Arms as their only support? They don't want to get left alone with the Wardens of Sithril versus all these knights. Really good charge onto the Glade Lord. Lots of damage there. Lewin gets back in after missing his flying charge because he went over their heads again. Another Melkoth's is out onto the Royal Pegasus Knights. Plus they're surrounded by these Wardens of Sithril. Lewin is heel capped himself, and all of his support is about to leave. I don't think he can solo carry from this point. But the damsel's back. Ooh, the damsel's back. That's huge. I wonder how much healing she has left. If she could regrowth the Royal Pegasus Knights. Oh. Turning on the new patch, any units joining Kairos in the naughty corner? Yes. The Tsarina's new chariot has a bug on it where if you're trying to chase it off the map and she's routing, she can kill your lord while she's routing. She keeps swinging at them while they chase her. It's really it's awful, but it's very funny. Oh, Desire Drive. I'm sorry that you had a Madam Web experience with your mother. The Glade Lord can't hurt you anymore. Wardens of Sithril have taken some serious damage since we last saw them, and archers are poking in, but Lewin and the Pegasus Knights diving in once again. Huge damage onto the Glade Captain. Sword of Corone is down, lowering that melee defense and armor, making him easier to hit, but another Melkoth Mystifying Miasma, damaging the Royal Pegasus Knights, and Lewin charges after the Glade Lord instead, but the Glade Captain is after Lewin. Lewin tries to get back into the sky. His Royal Pegasus Knights are fine. We still have some spears to fall back to. Lewin's charging in with the Royal Pegasus Knights. They missed the charge that time. And they just kind of hobble along, but the Wardens of Sithril are... Oh. will mulch the Royal Pegasus Knights here in a second. There we go, losing 200, 300 HP. They're starting to charge away again. All 5 models are to safety. Their leadership, oh, it couldn't hold, and then it randomly rallied. The Royal Pegasus Knights go after the Glade Lord. Lewin does too, and on the charge, he misses the attack. And another Melkoth should seal the fate of the Royal Pegasus Knights after all they've done. 2,200 value for them this game, but they do rout off. The Peasant Spears rout off, and now it's Lewin versus a whole bunch of spears and 3 single entities. He can't possibly do it. And that'll be GG for him, though he tries to kill the Glade Lord on the way out. He does not succeed. Oh, he might succeed. No, he doesn't succeed. 1,001 airstrikes is going good. It's going good. Looking forward to the bug video. The bug video comes out tomorrow morning, so it comes out in 9 hours. 9 hours from now. Yeah. 2,100 for Trogdor's Lord. 2,100 for his Glade Captain as well. 1,600 for the Beastcaster. Shadowscaster, sorry. So it's 1,200 and 1,000, though the one that got 1,200 was the ROR. The Wardens of Cithril, 2,700, was pretty pog. And then the Eternal Guard also did great. For Nerd, just Nerd, Lewin did fine. Royal Pegasus Knights did well. Knights of the Realm, oof, one of them got 2,000 value, which is huge. Knights Errant, mixed, but overall fine. And then Archers, decent value, though they did end up in melee a little too soon. They need to stop earlier and shoot. All right, we have 2 games left that I thought were interesting. I'll cast those, then go to bed here. Potentially the faster of the 2 is we have Dwembox versus Incars. Tomb Kings versus the Ogre Kingdoms. It is 11 o'clock at night here. I might fast forward through certain parts and just get through this. Not trying to rush anything, just saying, like, if the armies are taking a while to advance or we get into a late game situation that's kind of all done, I will fast forward because I got to get going to sleep here. We have another tournament in 12 hours, so I got to get to bed and then wake up and do that one, huh? All right, for the Ogre Kingdoms, we have 2 Lead Belchers, 2 Iron Guts. We have a Tyrant with Snacks, his regeneration when he's in melee. Then we have a Fire Belly with Burning Head and Cascading Fire Cloak, more Iron Guts, 4 Gnoblar Trappers, 3 Gnoblars regular, and 4 Saber-Tusk Packs. Aside for the Tomb Kings, we have some flanking forces, 2 Carrion flanking a bit. Tomb Guards with Halberds and Skeleton Spears across the front line. We have 2 Sparkle Stalkers, 1 Ushapta Greatbow, Cetra the Imperishable on horse with his anti-large arm piercing. Then we have the Sphinx of Ustaf, ROR Sphinx. Let's go. Times 2 speed real quick as these armies do a little bit of dueling. Saber-Tusk Packs get into the backfield. But Cetra and the Hyros, the Necrosphinx should be able to peel them off if they get any attacks, though so far they don't really know how to attack. There's a big chunk of damage. And these other Sparkle Stalkers get a good volley on the Saber-Tusk, get them to rampage into Tomb Guards with Halberds, and Cetra and the Sphinx are more than up to the task getting rid of that other one. So good start here for the Tomb Kings. On this side, though, their front line's taking this much damage without a Burning Head. Here comes the Burning Head. I honestly would have assumed that it already happened. Does it curve inwards? No, it curves outwards. So it is going to miss those other guys. Still, the Skeleton Spearmen are not feeling great. On the back line, Carrion have dove for the Lead Belchers, distracting them, but also getting some decent damage down as the Iron Guts and Saber-Tusk Packs come back to peel those guys off and get rid of them once and for all. 2 Saber-Tusk Packs have been routed. And all of the weapons teams for the Tomb Kings are safe and sound. Both Spark Stalkers trying to shoot at the Tyrant on his way in, but a Butcher Tier 3 army ability already used to heal him up as he charges into these anti-large armor-piercing monsters, but he needs to stop them from shooting for a bit so that Lead Belchers and Gnoblar Trappers can maybe help him kill those guys. But here comes the Necrosphinx to duel with him. Very excited to duel with the Tyrant. It is much better as a duelist than he is. Tomb Kings have lost all of their front line. They have a Tomb Guard, they have another Tomb Guard, but all their Skeleton Spears are beyond repairs. They're gone. Iron Gut's getting deleted by Sparkle Stalkers right now. We'll see if it even matters, because we are about to lose the Tyrant, Cetra, and the Necrosphinx. I really don't think that Tyrant can stand. Sparkle Stalkers taking big damage from the range, like we said before. That's what the Tyrant is trying to tank up to achieve. And the Tomb Kings, despite having no front line left, are very ahead on the balance of power. It's really about how much can the Ogre Kingdoms do about these ranged units, and can they shut them down quickly before their Tyrant dies. If their Tyrant dies, their leadership might just spike enough that they'll lose in the late game anyway. The Iron Guts get into a fight. The Purple Stalkers are doing alright. And the Tyrant is going to tear out away from Cetra and the big scary kitty. Wonder Shop Great Post still up. And it is trying to turn around and fire at the full health Saber-Tooth pack coming in the late game. Probably a little delayed on that charge. They might have gotten forgotten about for a little bit. And the Sparkle Stalkers are withstanding the attack of these Iron Guts actually pretty darn well. A little surprised. Nabo Trapper's still firing in. In the backfield, the Ushopti Summon has Rampage and Saber-Tooth pack, while Carrion, a full health Carrion got the other Lead Belcher. See, Ogre Kingdoms being unable to protect their Lead Belchers is going to cost them this one, it looks like. More Saber-Tusk, more Iron Guts trying to fight these Purple Stalkers. Getting decent damage down, but a big Burning Head from the Ogre Kingdoms is a Hail Mary to stay in this game as they throw down some Halberds and try to keep the balance of power within range of them, but their Tyrant routes for the second time. The Necrosphinx is peeling off Saber-Tooth packs to keep the Ushopti safe while they continue to shoot at the Tyrant. And Cetra is just rolling around, hanging out with some Nabo Trappers. This is kind of the worst place for him to be. He has nothing to do with these Nabo Trappers. He won't take a ton of damage, he just also won't achieve much there, so he doesn't need to leave. Probably should be chasing down the Tyrant, all things considered, and just finish that guy, because if you kill him, the game's over. Enough Ogres will rout that you'll get army losses. I see in cars, I see. Sad I no longer get weekly tourneys. Hey, there's plenty of events going out. I know Guiyama, actually, sorry. Guiyama is hosting a Land Battle tournament here. Zuri Han runs tournaments every so often, the Jade Cup. So, there'll still be tournaments. Another Burning Head, trying to keep the Ogres in this game. But I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. There's still Support Stalkers, there's still Chef Great Bows, there's still a full health Necrosphinx and a full health Cetra. Yeah, Army Losses calls it. Dwembox playing his Ogres all night long. He had some pretty good games tonight. GG's, brother, GG's. In cars, good win. Good win. Pretty well played. I didn't really have any complaints. It was good stuff. I think Cetra on his horse, even though he's anti-large armor piercing, I think he's largely overrated, but that's a whole different combo. Alright, last game of the night. Warriors of Chaos versus Tzeentch. Lowry and Electric Spinach. Last game of the night. This was the new player tournament. If you are interested in best of 3 sweaty land battles between players of all experience levels, that is tomorrow at 11. If you are curious what that is in your time zone, just look at the YouTube page, and I have it scheduled under my upcoming live streams. It'll be there. So you'll see it. Okay. For Tzeentch, we have 2 Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, 1 Centaur in the distance, Exalted Hero of Tzeentch, Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal with Fountain Station and Chaos Spawn Summon, Blue Horrors, Halberds, 2 Chaos Spawn, and that is it. Inside the Warriors of Chaos, we have some Skirmish Cav, Horse Masters, 1 Chaos Knight, Archaon, Everchosen, Spirit Leech, and Burning Head, a front line of Marauders, and we have the Severed Claw Aspiring Champions, and the Doom Knights of Tzeentch in the sky. Not a new unit, just a unit we don't see very often. But it's been around. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch trying to kill off the Marauder Horse Masters, but they are sandwiched in, not having a good time fighting Archaon and the lads. And here come the Centaurs with their rear charge. Whee! Bop! Nice impact damage. The Marauders should get routing soon. That should be a 2-for-1 Marauder route. And already the Chaos Spawn got rid of another Marauder with Blue Horror support. But the Severed Claw will make extremely short work of these Chaos Spawn. Severed Claw have very, very high weapon strength and good stats, so they'll be just fine. Meanwhile, more Chaos Knights catching more Marauder Horse Masters, and the Skirmish Cav of the Warriors of Chaos is ending up in melee way too often for my liking here. But here comes the big counterpunch from the Warriors of Chaos. Archaon jumps in onto the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch. He is a much better duelist than that guy ever will be, and the Doom Knights are harassing the Lord away. So Tzeentch is up early, but we'll see what the Warriors of Chaos can do. Exalted Hero gets Colossal Strike, which gives him a lot more stats, especially versus Archaon. And there's Centaurs nearby that could surround Archaon too. I actually think Tzeentch could kill Archie here. Get the Halberds to peel off the Chaos Knights, then have Centaurs and the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch team up versus Archaon. There they come. And all we need is for the Halberds to make sure that those Chaos Knights don't get involved as the Centaurs start tearing him apart. Once again, dude, I don't know. These Centaurs, it feels like their stats are a lie. Because they don't feel OP, they just feel strong. Their stats look horrible. 29-24, but normally it's 22-22. They have some chevrons and stuff. Alright, Chaos Knights cleaning up Marauders on the far side. Meanwhile, Marauder Horseman is kiting out the spawn of Tzeentch. Spirit Leech from Archaon trying to get the little Exalted Hero here, but what did I say? What did I say? The Centaurs would run over, surround him, and kill him if the Chaos Knights couldn't get involved. The Chaos Knights of Tzeentch on this side are taking forever to die from the Marauder Horsemasters dealing with them. The Doom Knights of Tzeentch are still very healthy. The spawn summon is out near the Severed Claw. So that is a fake summon. It'll go away for Tzeentch soon here. Chaos Knights get a charge in the Centaurs. Archaon does have all of his melee attack pops. Oof. Big damage onto the Centaurs. The Chaos Knights of Tzeentch come in, but honestly Archaon can probably still win all of that. Nice final transmutation onto Archaon the Everchosen. No healing for him, so just poking him down is nice. Maybe Centaurs have a bug attack interval. That's fine. Like, I feel like they perform just fine. They're good. They're not OP. Like, I honestly wouldn't even nerf them. I wouldn't buff them either. Like, their current performance is just solid. Because this is a 1,050 gold unit. Right. So, they do good. If you put them in a bad situation, they get murdered. And that's pretty fair gameplay. Exalted Hero Tzeentch has his Colossal Strike popped. He's trying to fight back against the Doom Knights. Archaon does rout, and he's just about dead as the Chaos Sorcerer Lord and the Centaurs are trying to finish him off, diving in there to get rid of those guys, but the Chaos Knights also think about leaving regardless. The Severed Claw is still trying to take a fight, and the Doom Knights are busy trying to kill this Exalted Hero, but he is a foot halberd character. It's more than up to the task of fighting against these little Doom Knights. Skirmish Cav is still trying to fight it out. As soon as the Sorcerer Lord of Tzeentch kills Archaon, I imagine we'll see a lot of things break. There's a final transmutation from him onto the Doom Knights to help out his little Exalted Hero a bit more, and Marauder Horsemen and Chaos Knights are going to start routing now that Archaon is dead. I think we've just seen the turning of the tide, as a Bolt of Change is also going to help. And these Exalted Heroes, they don't feel that overpowered. They're just very tanky. But, like, you could just ignore this guy, right? You could ignore him until the late game. More stuff is routing off. At this point, I think the writing is on the wall. A rear charge in from these Chaos Knights to get rid of the Doom Knights. Nuts about that. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I gotta get going to bed, as I imagine some of you do as well. Once again, I will see you tomorrow. Or if you're not interested in multiplayer for some reason, don't know why you're watching this channel then, we do have a multiplayer campaign stream 2v2 on Sunday. Sound good, everybody? All right. You have a good night. I'm going to scroll through the values real fast and then shut her down.